Hello and welcome back to the water. My name is Beast, and today we're back with Onigokko. Started early this time, so of late. Namely, it is 7. I actually planned for it to start at 6 possibly. Or at the very least, 6:30. But alas, it's 7 now. Can't really help it. Anyways. Today we'll be starting with Akari-Route in this here lovely Onigokko. Anything else I wanted to say? Can't think of it. Oh well. I'm a man too. Strip and approach her. Hold up. Before we press that, let me just open up the timestamps and alright. Alright, I've got this! Shot Akari the kind of shot Akari the kind of smile I could muster and began to strip. Here's the thing. Taking off your shirt and giving it to her is the right option here. Stripping completely is not. Ouch! I got hit in the head. Wait, calm down. I wasn't trying to assault you or anything. Like I said, calm down. You're going to catch a cold if you don't dry off. I'll go look for a towel, so for now put this on. Stood there shirtless and handed Akari my sweatshirt. The morning air felt pleasantly cool against my skin. I'll be fine, and I'll warm up once I start running. If you don't want to wear it, it's fine by me if you use it as a towel instead. Akari thought it over for a while. Her shoulders began to tremble from getting caught in a sudden gust of wind. Right, gonna get sick if you stay like that. That's better than wearing your panties on your head, right? Nah, help yourself. Go right ahead. Sure? After borrowing a towel from the janitor, Akari and I decided to head back to the dorms for a minute. Oh, we're back to skipping territory, I believe? No, not yet. We'd eventually have to part ways as the men and women's dorms were separate, but I escorted her until we reached that point. Incidentally, I only had a towel draped over my shoulders. It was way easier being a guy at times like these. I just needed to keep my lower half covered. I've got a spare, so no rush. More importantly, it doesn't smell, does it? I didn't work up a sweat cleaning. Yeah, I didn't think about it until after I gave it to you. Wait, don't do that in the middle of the road! Bear with it until you get back to the dorm. It's gotta be better than catching a cold. Oh no, is our last Akari going to get a smell fetish? It was already bad enough when Miu suddenly got down with one of those. Yes, I'm intentionally talking as if I'm talking about a disease, because... Yikes. Akari looked less than convinced, but begrudgingly agreed. Naturally, she wouldn't be very comfortable in a men's sweatshirt. I'd be overjoyed if the roles were reversed, though. What? By what? I haven't seen half-naked guys at the pool. I don't think so. Any man would be happy to have a girl looking at him. Yeah, men are simple creatures. So how do you feel after seeing guys have naked body up close for the first time? Oh yeah, it's not like you could really sink your teeth in. You could really sink your teeth in or anything, I guess.
曖昧ね。
Since men are wolves.
でも、ケイスケは狼じゃないでしょ？
What do you mean?
私に優しくしてくれたじゃない。最初は襲われるかと思って怖かったけど。
Well, I'm not actually an animal. I'd prefer to do that with someone I
あ
like.
ら、意外とロマンチストなのね。
I wonder. To see myself as a gentlemanly virgin.
童貞？もう、またそういうエッチなこと言って。デリカシーのない人ね。
Look how Look how red you are. You're so cute with your blush. Akari hung her head and quietly grumbled over my comment. I could tell she was being shy. I couldn't tell if she was being shy or just embarrassed. Either way, her bashful behavior was incredibly adorable.
でねでね、そうしたらカナが倒れちゃったのよ。もうおかしくって。
Okay, but is Suzuka okay? Wow, that sounds like something she'd do.
でしょ？
Short while later, we arrived in front of the girls' bamboo dorm where Akari lived. When we did...
あ、お兄ちゃん！ねえ、どうしてあかりさんと一緒なの？しかも仲良さそうに寄り添ってる！あ、これはその…葵ちゃん、あれは朝帰りというものですよ。さしてあげてください。
This is not the walk of shame!
朝帰りだと？なんて不死だらな。変態は死ぬべきだ！
Cheer greeted us in their own unique way. Looks like they finished cleaning too. Why did you call it that? You do know I went to clean the historical site with Akari, right, Senpai?
そうですよ。ケイスケとは別に。隠さなくてもいいんですよ。お姉ちゃんは全部わかっていますから。いつの間にか下の名前で呼び合ってるのが何よりの証拠。あかりちゃんもやりますね。それは。ちょっとお兄ちゃん、あかりさんと何があったの？正直に答えなさい。
Wait, there's all just a misunderstanding. A bunch of stuff happened that I got to see some ripe peaches, that's all.
美味しそうな桃って。あかりちゃんのお胸のことですね。あかりちゃん、隠れ巨乳さんですから。
Still hilarious how I've inadvertently accidentally went down the routes in order of breast size.
先輩、何を言い出すんですか？胸が大きいからってなんだ？そんなものがあっても生活の邪魔だ。贅沢は敵だ。
Oh, I can skip here. I forgot I could skip there. Big old dum-dum. So how's your day been? Mine's been good. I like, just gotta do that. You only get to see the heads. I'm just being careful. Don't worry about that. Someone just messaged me. Let me just reply to that. Oh, there we go.
では。
How'd it go? Is Senpai okay?
ええ、先生が途中で保護したみたい。怪我もなかったって。
See, thank goodness. After getting in touch with Tamahiko, Akari shared the report with a reassuring smile on her face. We were worried for Senpai's safety since we'd split up with her part way, but it sounded like she was in good hands. The chief went to deliver both her stolen underwear and pendant in person, so they should be back in Senpai's hands right about now.
じゃあ、夜も遅いからまた明日ね。
Yeah, make sure you put on underwear tonight, otherwise you'll catch a cold.
そんなの当たり前でしょ
I was a little upset, but a quick pat on the head put her right back into good spirits. She was pretty easy to read, all things considered. What's up? Glad to see you look so down.
今回あまり役に立てなかったなと思って。
That's not true, you got always underwear back, right? Cordelia seemed appreciative too.
それはまあ
Akari and I went to visit the Tea Kettle of Fortune together and found Kuda cleaning the place alone. She mentioned something or other about being punished for breaking the kettle. Once we filled her in on the situation and returned her underwear, she directed her gratitude solely to Akari and said, "I'm in your debt." Truth be told, the entire situation had left a sour taste in my mouth. However, I couldn't afford to talk about my Uda-related activities and ultimately called it a win for Akari. What, don't feel like calling it a win?
それはそうよ。人の手柄を横取りするなんて、それこそ泥棒みたいじゃない。私はあくまで私自身の手で事件を解決したかったの。そうじゃないと。
Otherwise?
いえ、なんでもないわ。
Akari looked taken aback and clamped her mouth shut. Guess she didn't want to say whatever it was out loud. If Akari wanted to keep it to herself, there was no sense in my forcing it. I didn't want to offend her and make her dislike her. Me either. Anyway, it's not a big deal. You did a good job. At the very least, I'll acknowledge it as a win for you. Gently put my hand on her head and gave it a light pat. Despite the impressive fight she just put up, her hair was silky smooth and smelled incredible.
やめて。
Huh?
って話して。
Oops, sorry. I quickly pulled my hand back at her request. Crap, I touched her head without her consent since it was something I often did with Aoi. Sorry for doing that out of nowhere.
いいの。ちょっと驚いただけだから。男の子にああやって頭撫でられたの初めてだったし。
I see, sorry for stealing a first from you.
いいのよ。ケイスケならその平気だし。
Huh?
ちょっとそこなんでいい雰囲気なの。葵ちゃんいたの。そりゃいますよ。ずっといましたとも。ここあたしんちの前ですから。それもそうね。じゃあまた明日ね。
Yeah, good night.
うん。
Tell me inside.
おやすみなさい。
When I waved my hand, Akari returned the gesture with a small wave of her own and disappeared inside. Think she hates me now?
そうだといいんだけどね。
What's that supposed to mean?
なんでもないよーだ。
Oh, he gave me that vague sounding reply before heading back to her own room. I wasn't entirely sure, but Akari wasn't actually mad at me, right? I hope not. She was scared when she went off the deep end. Still though, Akari's hair really was beautiful.
いいのよ。ケイスケならその平気だし。
So right if it's me, huh? I recalled what Akari had said, as well as the lingering sensation of her hair on my hand, and naturally got a spring in my step. Why couldn't it be tomorrow already? Okay, calm down there, Busta. Getting very excited, it seems. That is a simple room, surprisingly. I actually saw this one before in the explanation of how this was explained to everyone else and how Uda was framed to be a penny thief in Kurea's-Route. I opened the door, turned on my light, then leaned against the wall and dropped down onto my backside.
びっくりした。
I hadn't expected him to pet my head out of the blue. Guess it was so unpredictable. My heart was still pounding like crazy. Settle down, Akari. I let out another small sigh in order to catch my breath. Finally managed to calm down a little. Grabbing a drink and changing emotional gears seemed like the best course of action.
それにしても。
What Wow, though. I recalled the lingering sensation of Keisuke's hand on my hair, and at the same time I remembered my dad. The feel of his hand reminded me of Dad's, big, strong, yet gentle through and through. It felt like it had been ages since another person had touched my head like that. Mom used to do it in the past, though. Come to think of it, Mom stopped doing that after Dad left us. Ever since Dad lost his life in that fight 10 years ago. Thinking about Mom was a waste of time. Nothing I could say at this point could ever change her. I decided to live on my own because she would never change. Grabbed a peach juice from the fridge and took a gulp. Sweet and delicious. It'd be great if Keisuke got used to this flavor too. Gazed up at the beautiful starry night sky and whispered that boy's name. It was due to the traces of peach juice in my mouth, but I was surprised by the sweetness of my own voice. Next day flew by and was already lunchtime. Skip. Nah.
Aoi. お前はいいやつだが、時々頭。
Whoops. It's this situation again.
葵、お前はいいやつだが、時々頭の中身が心配になる。え？私どこも悪くないよ。そこの変態、早めに病院へ連れて行け。
Sorry, I'm really busy cleaning right now.
ちょっと何おにゃ。
Sandy covered the pitiful girl's mouth. You might be a bit off in the head, but live strong that way.
あらあら、新手のプレイですか
Oh, I simmered down the second she heard Otome's outrageous comment. Oh no!
君たち兄弟で裏山もといハレンチなことをするなんて許せないよ。
Still can't believe that you're secretly hot. I mean, he still looks off to me personally, but the world says he's apparently hot. Because apparently he can just do this. Which just looks off to me personally, so...
兄様、今、羨ましいと聞こえたのですが。
誤解だよ、かな。僕はそんなことは言ってないよ。
大混乱ですね。
Only because you said some weird, senpai.
ごめんなさい。それで、何のお話でしたっけ？
素人である浦部たちには何もすることがないから今すぐ帰るという話だったな。
Isn't it suspicious for a teacher to calmly admit certain details of a conversation all while twisting what his students actually said? Just calling it like I see it.
黙れ。学生は学生らしく勉強していればいいんだ。それ以上は望まん。
What's with that logic? Don't treat us like we're a bunch of bad
お
apples.
兄様、人の話はちゃんと耳を傾けるものですよ。
浦部の話ならもう聞いただろう。これ以上何がある？
なら、私からいいか。
Kuda chimed in and took a quiet step forward. I did want to speak up, but I was curious what Kuda might say, so I decided to go with the flow.
それで、聞きたいことって何かしら。偽浦は秘宝を探していて、それは御三家が管理していると言ったな。ええ、その通りよ。ならば、偽浦は何らかの形で御三家に関わる人間に接触してくる可能性が高い。違うか？そうね。では、委員会に所属している私や、そこの変態たちも巻き込まれる可能性がある。そうだな。まあ、そういう可能性も否定できないわね。だろう？だから、御三家としてこれからどういう対応を行うのか聞いておきたい。 いざという時、自分の身くらい自分で守りたいしな。でも、それは、聞けば、吉備宮先輩のミスで、西園寺先輩が襲われ、危険な目にあったらしいな。桃太郎の子孫だかなんだか知らんが、これでは桃太郎侍というより、うっかり侍ではないか。うっかり侍？ん？うっかり以外の理由があるなら説明してほしいものだ。それは、説明できないようだな。やはりうっかり侍ではないか。こんな奴に任せると言われたところで信用できん。私がうっかり侍。
That must have come as a huge shock, as a now forlorn Akari hung her head and appeared visibly depressed. I mean, yeah, there wasn't much else you could call that mistake other than careless. However, from where I was standing, I found her dejected attitude to be quite charming. Now, don't criticize Akari so much, everyone makes mistakes.
そうですよ。私もペンダントもこうして無事だったわけですし。ならば、立派な桃太郎が考えている今後の対応策くらいは教えてほしいものだな。私たちはすでに巻き込まれているんだ。全てを秘密にしたままことを進めるには限界があると思うぞ。そうですね。今後の対策くらいなら教えて差し上げてもよろしいのではないでしょうか。わかりました。
Akari let out a heavy, exasperated sigh and faced Kurea head on.
まず、警備の話からするわね。一度狙われた乙女先輩には、玉彦先生と忍者部隊が護衛に当たるわ。それは今朝から始まってる。
ああ、乙女の通う学園で何かあっては困るからな。お前たちをはじめ学生に危害が及ばないよう警護、学業やプライベートには影響ないから心配するな。お前たちは普段通りの学生生活を過ごせ。
島のパトロールは坂上家が中心に行うことになってる。島中に私服忍者を見回らせて、怪しい行動をしている輩がいたらすぐにご同行をお願いしているよ。どうして僕を見つめているんだい？恋しちゃったのかな？
誰がするか、このキングオブ不審者が。
Yeah, Kurea had a point. I wanted to float the idea that this guy right in front of us was awfully suspicious myself.
ちょっと話進めていいかしら。
Yeah, go ahead.
それじゃあ次に秘宝に関してだけど、偽浦は宮島の秘宝をいただくって予告状を出してきたわ。それには当然今まで集めた秘宝もターゲットに含まれていると思う。だけどそっちは吉備宮家の地下にある岩戸に厳重に保管してあるし、警護もいつも以上に増やしたから心配しなくていいわ。むしろ私たちが警戒すべきなのはまだ回収が済んでない秘宝の方ね。昨日の茶釜みたいにこの島にはまだ存在を知られてない秘宝が眠っているかもしれないし。
Telling us not to worry makes you sound awfully sure of yourself.
まあね、なんだかんだ言ってもうちは優秀だから。
だけど昔は裏に何度か盗みに入られたことがあったよね。
昔のことよ、昔のこと。おい、本当に安全なのか？大丈夫よ、問題ない。裏に襲撃されるたびに警備を強化してきたんだから。その証拠にここ10年は秘宝を盗まれたことはないわ。警備は完璧よ。あかりちゃんの言う通り、今の吉備宮の警備は施設といい人員といいかなり厳重なものになっています。
Oh, it's gotta be hilarious if he just sat there like, I'd fucking try me. I'm stealing something just for the... Like, I'm not even stealing anything. I'm just breaking in, leaving a cart there, and then leaving. Have fun with that.
本物の裏でも忍び込むのは相当困難だと思いますよ。当然偽浦さんも忍び込めるとは思えません。そんな要塞みたいなところを狙うよりまだ回収できてない秘宝を狙った方が確かに楽ちんだね。はい。もっとも偽浦さんが御三家の所有する特定の秘宝を狙っているというなら、 お話は別でしょうけど。
なるほど。話は大体わかった。それで先輩たちはこれからどうするんだ？
私と兄様はパトロールに出ることになりました。残念ですが、今後はあまり委員会に顔を出せないかもしれません。
私もそうするつもりよ。この手で偽裏を捕まえてやるんだから。
待て、吉備津宮。お前には自宅待機するよう本家から命令が出ているぞ。
私のところにも、あかりちゃんは待機って連絡が。
ふざけないでよ！本家がどう言おうが関係ないわ！私もパトロールに出る。うちでじっとなんてしてられるもんですか！
吉備津宮、それは命令違反だぞ。
現場の判断よ！
Akari replied, rose to her feet, and threw the sliding door open, leaving only wrath in her wake.
あかりちゃん。
偽裏は、土雲は私が必ず捕まえる。絶対に。
Akari ignored Kana's feeble attempts to stop her, slammed the door shut, and left us with those parting words. As then the warning bell rang and shattered the heavy mood.
仕方ありません。今日はひとまず解散しましょうか。
When Senpai stood up with a troubled smile on her face, everyone else followed suit and got up after her. What a mess. I'd hoped that in the best case scenario that I could be involved in taking out the fake Ura, but I guess things weren't going to work out that easily. Still though, Akari was awfully fixated on catching the fake Ura. She looked super menacing when they mentioned her being put on standby too. I'd never seen her that angry before. I wonder what had set her off. Is it a case of her mom being overly protective now after her dad died? When I returned to the classroom, I discovered Akari had already taken her seat, placed the textbook and notebook on her desk, and eagerly waited for the lecture to begin. Given her earlier enthusiasm, I assumed she'd skip class altogether and immediately go on patrol. But she was her usual studious self and stayed on campus. With that said, she certainly looked less than pleased. Akari sat stewing in her seat for the entire duration of class.
じゃあ次の問題よ。君じゃなくて佐藤。
Akari's negative vibes were so intense that even Sensei didn't want to interact or make eye contact with her. She was really easy to read, but that was amusing in its own right.
起立！レイ！お先に！
She must have been desperate to leave as she practically leapt out of her chair, the second class, and then bolted into the hallway.
あかりちゃん。
That sort of behavior was super intimidating. After Kana and our classmates watched her flee the scene in a daze, I was hit with a sudden realization. If Akari went to patrol that pissed off, wouldn't that put the fake Uda on edge and motivate them to not show up? It would be in the fake Uda's best interest to not show up right now anyway. Akari was definitely a skilled swordswoman, so crossing swords with her while she was so pissed off could lead to the worst possible outcome. Yep, better to hold off on chasing after her for now. With that thought, I quickly tossed my things out of my bag and was about to leave when... Kana shyly called out to me. Come on already, why was this girl only assertive at times like this? This time I was gonna drive her straight out of the ring. Sorry, I'm in a hurry, so please keep it brief.
この前みたいにお相撲の真似をしないでお話を聞いてほしいんですが。
Rejected.
2回も言われちゃいました。ですが、大事なことなんです。お願いします。お願いします。
Can beg all you want, but I'm still in a hurry.
私も急いでるんです。急いでるんです。
Seeing her stare at me and jerking forward all teary-eyed really puts me on the spot. I really needed to get the hell out of here there, but it was unusual for Kana to act so persistent. It might actually be something important.
お願いします。お願い。
Ah, no fear, Kana! Urame can't scare you. You're such a weakling. You can't win against the crying woman. Got it, I can see. Let's hear it.
はい、ごめんなさい。
おい、浦部が坂上さんを泣かせてるぞ。
何をやったのかしら。
In all seriousness, please make it quick before people get the wrong idea.
すみません。では、落ち着いてお話ができるところで。
別れ話か？
あの二人が付き合ってるなんて話聞いたことないよ。むしろこの流れは告白よ。
Enough from the peanut gallery! Get out of here already! Doubt it was anything of the sort, but what should I do if that was something she was gunning for?
ケイスケさん、私とお付き合いしていただけませんか？
Yeah, entirely plausible. Wait, stop. This wasn't the time to be daydreaming. I need to get this over with and look for Akari. Actually, for all intents and purposes, she does have a crush on Keisuke currently. Because the decision to go on her route has nothing to do with her. It is a decision to help Akari or not help her. Meaning that the base ending, if he doesn't go out of his way to, you know, appeal to one of the other girls, is Kana. Kana will fall for him without him actively doing anything to try to make her fall for him. So by that logic, she would have a crush on him in every route. God, I made myself hate myself again. We eventually found ourselves on the roof of the school gates. The roof was off limits to all but the committee members, so we should be able to have a quiet conversation here.
お手間を取らせて申し訳ありません。これから話すことは他言無用でお願いします。
With what happened this afternoon, there's been a lot going on lately. Scratched my head and let out a quick sigh.
真面目なお話なんです。
Kana jerks forward and stared up at me with a serious look on her face. The expression was so unlike her that I couldn't help but feel bewildered.
ごめんなさい。つい大きな声を出してしまいました。でも、本当に大切なお話なんです。
Then cut all the apologies and tell me. Kinda apologetically bobbed her head up and down. This was more like her. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I poked fun at you first, so I'm sorry.
ケイスケさん。
It's important, right? Go ahead. Okay, let's hear it.
はい。お話というのは、あかりちゃんのことなんです。
Does this have something to do with the way she's been acting since this afternoon?
はい。
Kinda began to tell her story with a docile look on her
あ
face.
かりちゃんがそこまで怒っているのは、ニセウラさんが土蜘蛛の残党である可能性が非常に高いせいだと思うんです。
Oh, I was curious about that too, but why is she so insistent when it comes to Tsuchigumo?
実は
To the Tsuchigumo.
10年前の土蜘蛛との戦いで、吉備宮家の当主、あかりちゃんのお父様が命を落としているんです。
Akari's dad passed away 10 years ago.
あかりちゃんはおじさまによく懐いていて、何かあるとお父さんお父さんって本当に仲のいい家族だったんです。おじさまが亡くなった時、あかりちゃんはワンワン泣いて。
Kana seemed lost in thought, sniffled and wiped away all the corners of her eyes. I get it. Basically, if the Fekuda is part of Tsuchigumo, then she would be her father's arch enemy.
はい。
Her father's arch enemy, huh? I understood why she was acting so strangely earlier. Wait, if Akari's dad passed away, then who is the current head of the Kibutsumiya
あ
family?
かりちゃんのお母さんです。10年前からずっと当主代行を務めていらっしゃいます。
Let's see.
それでここからが本題なのですが、今のあかりちゃんは冷静さを失っています。今までもこういうことは何度かあったのですが、吉備宮家の当主様の命令に逆らったことはなかったんです。
It wasn't like she'd never flown off the handle before now, especially when something Muda-related came up. But it better keep quiet and avoid stirring up any unnecessary trouble. Are you asking me to stop Akari?
いえ、 あそこまで頭に血が上っちゃってるあかりちゃんを止めるのは難しいと思います。
True enough, I doubt you would listen to anything I had to say
ですか
anyway.
らケイスケさんにはパトロールをして回るあかりちゃんのそばについていてほしいんです。
Team up.
お願いします。ケイスケさんの身に危険が及ばない範囲で構いませんから。
Kana leaned forward again and pleaded to me. I was so close that her breath was practically hitting me. She got this way when we're talking about her ruins too. Despite how docile she could be at times, she could be quite proactive and enthusiastic for a situation that were called for it.
ケイスケさん、聞いてらっしゃいますか？
Yeah, I am. Your face is just so cute it'll make a guy's heart race, you know.
ごめんなさい。
Nah, we'll call it a perk.
ごめんなさい。
So, as far as your quest goes, I don't mind.
本当ですか？ごめんなさい。また。
It's fine, really. With that said, I do have a question for you. Why me? If you wanted to poke your nose at Dockley's business, wouldn't someone from the three great families be more qualified than someone like
お
me?
っしゃることはもっともです。ですが、御三家の人間はそれぞれの任務がありますから、あかりちゃんのそばにずっとというわけにはいかないんです。 ですから、御三家の人間ではなく、比較的自由に動けて、あかりちゃんと仲良くやっていただけそうな方に頼むしかなくて。
And that's me?
あかりちゃんとケイスケさん、最近仲が良さそうでしたので、馬も合っているように見えましたし。
I don't know about that, but do you really think so?
はい。ケイスケさんと出会った頃からあかりちゃん、なんだか人が柔らかくなった気がして。
I guess it's probably okay for me to assume that she doesn't hate me at the very least.
いいと思いますよ。
Gonna reply with a smile and a shiny scratch at the back of my head. Anyway, since we can't stop her, do you want me to put a bell around her neck or
い
something?
いえ、それなら携帯があれば済むことです。お願いしたいのは、あかりちゃんのフォローです。あかりちゃん、いつもは真面目でしっかり者なんですが、この間みたいに肝心なところでミスを犯すことがあるんです。
Something else happened?
はい。昔からそういうところがありまして、本人は認めたがりませんけど。ですから、あかりちゃんにはしっかり者の相棒が必要だと思ったんです。
Okay, now I understand what's going on. Am I really the best person to help out that klutzy samurai?
むしろ適任だと思いますよ。フォローというのは心理的なものを含めてのお話ですから。
Whoops. Psychologically?
怒りに任せて大事にならないよう、あかりちゃんをそばで見守ってほしいんです。
That's a pretty important job, isn't it?
ですから、ケイスケさんにお願いしたいんです。
It's embarrassing to hear such praise. She thought quite highly of me for some reason, but I was flattered all the same.
それと、ケイスケさんが適任だなって思ったのは、もう一つ理由がありまして。
What's that?
ケイスケさんは、私の怪力を受け止めて平然としていた方ですから、万が一があっても大丈夫かなって。
Oh, that makes sense.
すみません。なんだか打算的で嫌ですよね。
Nah, I don't think there's any flaw in your logic. Guess I really am cut out for this. I didn't expect her to be so observant. Kinda was tiny, but I was the head of the Sakagami family for you. What a sly fox she
そ
was.
れで改めて伺いますけど、いかがでしょうか。
From what I had heard, there was no reason for me to turn her down. Joining her three great family's patrols was always a part of my plan. If I were to participate in the patrols via Kana's request, that would justify my presence and work out perfectly. Got it. Consider it done.
本当ですか？
Come on, don't look at me like that.
ごめんなさい。
Well, Akari did tell me not to get involved since it's dangerous, but I wouldn't be much of a man if I turned down such a cute girl's request, right?
はい、ありがとうございます。私もできる限り協力します。
Well, time to strike while the iron's hot. I'd better get to work. Pulled out my cell phone and gave Akari a call. A few minutes later, she answered.
もしもし、ケイスケ？私忙しいんだけど。
Akari, where are you right now?
商店街だけど。
Okay, got it. I'll be right there, so wait for me.
ちょっとケイス。
That ought to do it. Okay, I'm off.
あかりちゃんをよろしくお願いします。
I waved to Kana. She bowed deeply to me and hurried towards the entryway. You've got some amazing friends, Akari. It was impressive how a woman like you had friends who cared about you so much. My primary goal was to gather intel, but it had blossomed into something much more than that. A friend had asked me to take care of another friend. What an exciting development.
ようやく来たわね。
Sorry to spring this on you. Thanks for
行
waiting.
くって言われて返事も待たずに切られたらそうするしかないでしょ。うん。
Sorry. Despite her complaints, Akari waited around for me anyway. Really liked the conscientious side of her. Went down to patrol the second Colossal let out.
そうだけど、まさか電話したのって。
You bet I want to go on patrol with you.
ダメよ。連れてはいけないってお昼に言ったはずだけど。
Weren't you told the same thing? Make an accept for me just this once. Clapped my hands together and begged for her to reconsider.
あのね、ケイスケ。遊びじゃないのよ。
Wouldn't it be wise to have more manpower if you're going out on patrol anyway? I could notify the others via text if something were to happen.
理屈はわかるけど、危ないからダメ。
Isn't it equally dangerous for you?
そんなことないわ。私にはこれがあるもの。
Akari replied and drew his wooden sword from her bag. True, Akari was a skilled swordswoman. When we'd crossed swords before, she was incredibly perceptive, swift, and terrifyingly accurate. Most enemies who took her head on would get beaten down, myself included. But that's true, but a certain someone happened to leave their cell phone in their room. I guess you're not a klutzy samurai for nothing.
今それを蒸し返さないでっていうか、ふっかり侍って言うな。
Then klutzy Imperial Guard?
ふっかり度合いが増してるじゃないの。私あんなにうっかりさんじゃないもん。
The way she puffed up her cheeks was adorable. Her hard-working, diligent nature only made me want to tease her more. But Kana and Komakichi said as much too.
あの子たちったら、ともかくダメなものはダメなんだから。
Please make an exception. It won't cost you a single millet dumpling. Please take me in as your retainer, Momotaro.
もうしつこいわね。あのね、別に意地悪で言ってるんじゃないのよ。ケイスケだって乙女先輩がどうなったか聞いたでしょ。あんな風に偽裏に捕まっちゃったらどうするのよ。
I'll run away before that happens.
え？
I'm pretty confident in my ability to get out of sticky situations.
あのね。
I'll leave the fighting to you and we'll just act as backup. I think we'd make for a pretty good team.
もう何考えてるのよ。本当にダメなものはダメ。もっと真剣に考えてよ。あの時はペンダントを奪われる程度で済んだけど、一歩間違えれば死んでたかもしれないのよ。土蜘蛛のせいで誰かが傷つくのを見るの。もうたくさん。
Akari.
実は10年前の土蜘蛛との戦いで吉備宮家の当主
Whoops, fuck. We already heard her say that anyway, so it's fine. I thought about what Kana had said before. Akari got so angry when it came to the Fekuda to Tsuchigumo because she wanted to avenge her father. It wasn't like I couldn't understand how she felt, but it was still way too dangerous for her to go alone. In addition, Kana's request also had a bone to pick with the Fekuda. Needed to figure out how to smooth things over and fast. While that may be true, while that may be, but...
友達を危ない目に遭わせたくないのよ。お願い。
It was clear how worried she was about me. To put it like that, I wasn't entirely sure how to keep up this argument. I was ostensibly just an ordinary student, and I understood why she was worried. And it wasn't like I disliked knowing that someone cared about me so much, but I couldn't afford to just agree with her and back down. If only I could come up with some logical reason for her to agree it was okay for me to join her. But if I were to show off my only powers, then she might start to distrust me. Wait a second, I don't really need her approval, did I? Kinda asked me to keep an eye on Akari so I could still accomplish my goal if I just tagged along, whether she liked it or not. Take profit over fame. Alright, I could work with that. Alright, there's not much I can do if you feel that strongly about it.
ごめんね。気持ちはありがたく受け
Yeah, good luck out on the patrol then. I'll go on a walk or something before heading
え
home.
え。それじゃあ、またね。
After Akari waved and turned around, I nonchalantly followed after her.
どうしてついてくるのよ
I just happened to be walking in the same direction as you. Don't worry about it.
ふーん。そういうこと。わかった。
Akari's temples were spazzing like
い
crazy.
いわ。ついてこられるものなら、ついてきなさい
Oh! Unbelievable! I didn't think she'd break into a full sprint! However, I remained unfazed and dashed after her. Hey, wait a second, this is turning into more of a marathon than a
こ
patrol.
れが私流のパトロールよ。ケイスケは散歩でも何でもしてればいいでしょ
Bring it on! My walks are hardcore! As Akari picked up the pace even further, I increased my speed to match. This is a pretty brisk pace for a girl. However, compared to the intense training I went through Azura, it may as well have been a foot race against an elementary schooler. When Akari saw me chasing after her, she picked up the pace even further. Oh, her black hair was so glossy and had a pleasant floral aroma as it floated in the breeze. Wait, no, this made me sound like a total Komakichi tier stalker.
もうしつこいわね
Just what happened? Do we just have to be heading to the same place? Probably never thought I'd last this long. How naive of you, Akari. When I put my mind to it, I had enough stamina to run a full marathon at top speed. This was yet another fruit of Grandpa's intense training. Oh my, out of breath already? Your Keisuke over here is still full of energy while out on his walk, though.
私だってまだまだよ
Akari glared hard at me and tied up her hair in a ponytail with practiced hands. That may have been Akari's way of psyching herself up.
見てなさいここからが本番なんだから
Oh, that she picked up the pace. I naturally followed alongside her. The same pattern happened over and over again. And we get the heavy breathing down there for some reason. Before I knew it, we'd made a full lap around the island.
しつこい
Why are you breathing so hard? Are you alright?
なんでそんなに元気なのよ
I train just as much as you do. I may not look it, but I'm pretty confident in my stamina.
悔しいけどそこは認めざるを得ないわね
What do you think? I'd make for a great partner. Have you realized how quick I am on my feet?
まだ言うの危ないことには変わりないでしょだから首を突っ込んじゃダメだってば
Guess she turned me down again. Still seeing her breathing heavily, getting red in the face, and with sweat glistening off the nape of her neck made for a pretty great sight. Well, Akari was pretty hard at it. I didn't expect things to go smoothly in such a short span of time. Decided to back down for the day and be patient. Nah. Thanks for the meal.
はい召し上がれ
Sitting there on our table were several familiar but less than visually appealing dishes. Got an email from Moi on my way home that said I'd like to sort out our intel should I make dinner, to which I replied yes. For now, I stuck with what looked like meat and bean sprout stir fry into my. For now, I stuck what looked like meat and bean sprout stir fry into my mouth and followed it up with a spoonful of white rice. Yep, very tasty.
よかった。担当上がり
Yeah, I'm gonna stuff myself. Oi would have occasionally cooked meals for me whenever she got in the mood, and she made for a welcome presence in an otherwise empty house. Pretty much all I could manage was cooking rice in a rice cooker and pouring hot water into cup noodles.
そういえば協力の話断られちゃったね。どうしようか。
Yeah, I've got something else in mind though.
本当？どんな作戦なの？
Actually, kinda pulled me aside and asked me to keep an eye on Akari. I accepted a request, which gives me some good justification for it.
どうしてカナさんが？
Well, I summed up the conversation I had with Kana as well as my interaction with Akari. Upon hearing this, a soft smile crossed Oi's face.
そっか。カナさんもあかりさんもやっぱりいい人だね。
Yeah, they really care about their friends.
でも私たちのやってることを考えるとみんなを騙してるみたいでちょっと後ろめたいね。
Yeah, but we can't afford to reveal our identities either.
そうだね。
Our goal was to capture the fake Ura. We couldn't afford to lose sight of that. Well, it is a little unhanded, but we're planning to hand the fake Ura over to Akari and the others, so it's not a bad deal for either side. Let's just think of it that way.
そうだね。わかった。じゃあいち早く偽裏を捕まえられるように私もいろいろ探りを入れてみるよ。
Yeah, there's gonna be an uphill investigative battle for a bit. Counting on you, are we?
任せて。
I patted her somewhat sparse chest and was brimming with confidence. My little sister, giving off a snort to fire herself up, was trustworthy indeed. I'm gonna try tagging along on Akari's patrol again tomorrow. Need to get closer to her and collect as much information as I can. I made that promise with Akari after all. Can't exactly leave that klutzy samurai alone.
お近づき？放っておけない？まさかお兄ちゃん、あかりさんのことが好きに？
I'm not! Well, Akari is cute, has a nice personality, and has huge boobs. Yeah, not bad at all, actually. Couldn't help but smile when the image of a gung-ho but otherwise klutzy samurai popped into my head. Those ripe melons that stuck out beneath her white gym uniform, they looked so tasty.
お胸なら私だってあるよ。ほらほら触ってみて揉んでみてお兄ちゃん。
Moron, where do you think you're gonna find a brother who would actually want to rub his sister's tits?
そこにいる。
Nope, absolutely not here.
ならやっぱりあかりさんのことが好きに？
I don't! I mean that obviously I mean, that would obviously be bad if you thought about it from the Phantom Thief Ura point of view.
じゃあ浦部圭介的にはまずくないんだ。
Well, suddenly I tried picturing what Akari would be like after having become my girlfriend.
圭介。
Ah, so fucking cute! Not bad at all. Oops, always misty eyes hurt. Well, anyway, if I'm with her, even if I have to force it, we might get our hands on a clue about the fake Ura. I'm sure we'll get in touch with Akane and the others if the fake Ura does some. We may be able to steal some information if I'm near her. That's the gist of it.
情報を得るためね。
Crap, there was that skeptical look again. Did you see that stupid grin on my face just moments before? No matter how you looked at it, this plan had nothing but upsides for me. This is obviously a chance I could acquire information, but if I'm being blunt, Aki was just so damn beautiful. Not only would it serve as justification, I'd get to be with a girl like that. Talk about a perk. Since I was constantly transferring and on the move, nothing this scrupulous had come up before. This scrumptious had come up before me. I hardly assumed something so nice would come back to haunt me later. Relationship with Akari. Couldn't quite picture, but getting to be with a cute girl like her was more than enough. If things went smoothly, I might even get to see those peachy boobs a second time. Whoops, guess my cheeks and lips were getting loose on me. I quickly tightened my expression. Anyways, that's how things are going to fly starting tomorrow, so I'll do my best. Whoops, that is girl. Anyway, we could wait for now. Anyways, just could wait for now. Starting tomorrow, I'll be getting all. I was going to be all fired up. What should I do? I woke up feeling terribly stressed and started out the day with some cold sake. A week had passed since Kana made that request to me, but Akari still wasn't letting me join her.
だから危ないからダメって言ってるでしょ。認められません。しつこいわね。ダメなものはダメなの。
So she said, but she was totally unapproachable in situations like these. After school ended, I would go on walks and jogs near Akari every day without asking her. I ended up emailing Aoi yesterday and told her I was out on a jog again too. I was effectively going out with her on patrol, but it was impossible to have anything resembling a conversation. We were running around constantly and hadn't done anything remotely related to catching the fake Uda. Should I handle this? Scratched my head and gulped down the rest of the booze in my glass. I was desperate for Akari to let me tag along with her on patrol with her. But how could I convince her? Going around here wasn't going to accomplish anything. Going out on a walk would help. I eventually changed to my street clothes and headed out, took a deep breath, and stretched when...
あれ？ケイスケ？
Ran into Akari was wearing her gym uniform while she was out on a brisk jog. Hey Akari, morning!
おはよう。意外と早起きなのね。この前は思いっきり寝坊していたのに。
I'm a relatively healthy guy as long as I don't stay up late. Between the two of us, you're the one who seems to be really going at it. Do you go jogging every morning?
よくわかったわね。習慣みたいなものだから、毎日やらないと気持ち悪くて。
See, that was the diligent Akari I know. Diligent as ever, I see. Didn't look like she was pursuing the fake Uda at the moment either. Going to run some more?
ええ、さっき出たばかりだもの。
Going out on a jog with Akari, partially to deepen our friendship, sound entertaining. Alright, in that case I'll join you. Wait there for a second.
ちょっと、ケイスケ？
Let me see my gym uniform. Ah, there it was. I think that Akari was still borrowing one of my gym uniforms. She seemed pretty busy with all the commotion surrounding the fake Uda incident, but I had a spare one, so whatever. Thanks for waiting, I'm all set to go.
どうしてあなたは人の返事を待たないのかしら。
Sorry about that. This was a rare opportunity, so I figured I could run with you. So why not? You're not on patrol, right?
そうだけど。でもあなた、走り込みする必要あるの？いつも私が先に値を上げるくらいタフなのに。
Our after-school jogs or patrols always ended with Akari when Akari ran out of stamina. She seemed a little self-conscious about it and was pouting. She could be a sore loser at times, but that childish side of hers was endearing. Come on, don't say that. I don't hate running either, but I was a horse in a past life.
あのね。
Guess I'll give up if you really don't want to hang out with me.
誰も嫌だなんて言ってないじゃない。ほんとあなたって強引なんだから。
Thank you. Okay, shall we?
たく、仕方ないわね。
Early mornings were so quiet on Miyajima. There were hardly any cars in the streets, and it was a comfortable, carefree setting. The refreshing feeling of running in the brisk air and basking in the sparkling morning sun was something you couldn't enjoy in the city. Sounds a great place, huh? Clean air, great sights. Going on runs feels great.
気に入ってくれた？
Yeah, very much so.
本当？ から来た人にそう言ってもらえるのは島民冥利に尽きるってものよ。
I've loved this island a lot. It was charming to see her in such a great mood. By the way, have you lived here your entire life?
前にも言ったけどこの島から出たことないのよ。ケイスケはあっちこっち回ってるんだっけ？
Yeah, pretty much all over the north and to the south, I guess. Never really settled down in one place.
そうなんだ。
From my point of view, this island seems like a great place. Even from my point of view, this island seems like a great place. At the very least, it would be nice if you could stick around until graduation. As I genuinely felt, this was a truly cozy island. I'll probably have to leave once my job was finished, but I hoped I could stay on this island for a
そっ
while.
か、そんなに気に入ってくれたならいいところに案内してあげる。ついてきて。
Hey, wait! Akira was grinning from ear to ear, and I quickly followed after her. She reminded me of a puppy wagging its tail. When I went over to the mountain roads, we finally arrived at a beautiful arranged white sandy beach. Lover's Hill. The beach near Lover's Hill.
ほらほら見て。ここすっごく綺麗でしょ。
Yeah, it is amazing. Now know something so pretty was here just from looking at the map. The beach had been scrupulously maintained without a single speck of trash. The white color of the sand was likely due to the coral sand referred to as stardust. From the beachfront, there was a path which led to an isolated island out short ways in the open waters. But you could cross on foot. The sand is a gorgeous shade of white and makes for a picture-perfect scene with the island here. With that island there.
いいでしょう。ちなみに孤島への道はサンゴの道って呼ばれていてね、潮の満ち引きの影響で朝と夕方にだけ浮かび上がるの。
Oh, yeah. Well, we head over there then.
そんなことよりジョギング続けましょう。
No way, it is a special occasion, so show me around the island a little.
ダメ。
Be like that, okay? I'll head out first.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ、ケイスケ。
Hey, what's all up?
もうほんと人の話を聞かないんだから。
Ah, so it is the isolated island. And what's this? After running out into the island, a certain something resembling a prayer plaque was hanging off the branches of a thick growth of trees at the island's center. Tried picking it up. Pray that I can be with Yoshiki forever. Keiko. Tried reading a few entries, but they were all heartburn-inducing entries from couples. What in the world is this prayer plaque?
それはそのカップルが一緒にこの島に渡ると幸せになれるって言い伝えがあるの。エマはその記念みたいなものよ。
There's no archway or shrine for that.
だから記念みたいなものだって言ったでしょ。
This makes sense. Couples. I suddenly met Akari's. Akari immediately blushed and looked away, leaving me feeling oddly shy. Couples crossing over to this island would find happiness, huh?
私たちはカップルじゃないんだからノーカウントよ。それに一人ずつ渡ったし、一緒に渡ったってことにはならないんだから。
Yeah, I got it. Just calm down, okay?
もう帰りましょう。遅刻しちゃうから。
Sure. That made sense why Akari was so opposed to come to this island. What a bashful, adorable woman she was. Following our departure, we crossed the mountain path and made our way back to the usual road. It was then that I suddenly realized something. It just occurred to me.
何よ。
Didn't we cross the coral path together on the way back? Wouldn't that mean...
ただの言い伝えなんだし、気にする方がおかしいわ。
So she said, but she seemed really bothered by it. A couple, huh? Oh. No. I couldn't help but feel bashful with her at my side.
ちょっと黙ってないで何か言いなさいよ。
Yeah, you're totally right. It's just legend.
そうよ。言い伝えだから。
Why don't we head back?
そうね。
The air felt heavy between us, which made it difficult to have anything resembling a conversation. We eventually found ourselves at the crossroads leading to our dorms. Wanted to improve our relationship, but maybe I'd done the opposite. Nah, it's a secret spice for improving it. After that, I went back to my dorm and took a brisk shower to try and cool my flushed body. The odd embarrassment I felt washed away with it. By the time I finished getting ready and headed to school, I had settled down and realized my stomach was rumbling. I never got a chance to eat breakfast. Crap, didn't look like I had time to make a trip downtown either, so maybe I could just buy some at the school store. Of course, I walked into school, I found Akari and Aoi staying together at the crossroads to the women's dorm.
来た来た。おはよう、お兄ちゃん。
Yeah, morning. Kinda rare to see you two together, huh? What's up, Akka? Before I could finish speaking, Akari jogged up and handed me a paper bag.
はい、この前借りた体操服。
Thanks. I took the bag and inadvertently stared at her face. Her face was the faintest shade of red. This morning must have still been bugging her. Well, the feeling was certainly mutual.
貸してくれて助かったわ。返すの遅れちゃってごめんね。
Oh, nah, it's not like it put me out or anything, really.
それでもごめんね。学校で直接渡すのちょっと恥ずかしくて。ちゃんと洗濯しといたから乾燥機にも入れたから匂いとかついてないはずだ。
Oops, right, I see.
そう。
Going to the effort of bagging and returning it was certainly a girlish gesture. If I'd lent it to another guy, they would have washed it, but wouldn't have packaged it up so neatly.
それからちょっと耳貸して。
What is it?
二人であの道を渡ったことは誰にも言っちゃダメだからね。
Okay, it's a promise. So nice, though. There were so many pretty spots on this island, huh? There are so many pretty spots on this island. Can we go jogging together again
あ
sometime?
の島以外ならまあいいけど。
Akinina has her cheeks flushed a light shade of pink. Thank goodness she didn't seem to hate me after this morning. That was a small relief. The reason Akari tried to keep me at a distance was likely out of the kindness of her heart and not wanting to risk putting me in danger. As I thought, she was such a nice girl.
二人して何こそこそ話してるんですか？
何葵ちゃん。
Oi popped up and barged away into the middle of our private conversation. Then she held out a lunchbox as a way of deliberately splitting Akari and I apart.
はいお兄ちゃん、お弁当だよ。
Sure, thank you.
ちょっとこっち来てお兄ちゃん。
Don't tug on my ear! Oi was the one pulling me by the ear this time around.
ねえ、朝二人でどこに行ってたの？妙に仲良くなってるみたいだけど。
Oh, I ran into Akari in front of the door when we went on a jog, that's all.
本当にジョギングだけ？まさか二人で愛のエクササイズとかしてないよね？
The hell? You just went on a plain ordinary jog! You have such strange ideas.
でも
ほら二人ともそろそろ行かないと遅刻しちゃうんだけど。
At Akari's prompting, Aoi begrudgingly started moving. Unbelievable. That brother complex of hers was really causing me problems. Accusing Akari and I of engaging in something like that.
ほら圭介も急いで。
Right. Yeah, she may not have been completely wrong.
三辺が分かっている時の三角形の面積の求め方は去年やったな。まずは軽く教える。サイン A を A、B、C で表せばいい。よって余弦定理の公式を使って。
We don't need to fuck around with sine and cosine if the question is what's the area of a triangle where all the sides' lengths are known. You don't gotta fuck around with sine A, sine B, sine, especially since it's not sine large A, sine alpha, beta, gamma, because fucking angles are Greek letters. Lengths of a side are small letters. The capital letters are the corners. So sine A, in this case, would technically actually work out since it's still alpha, since the alpha angle is at point A, but it's still technically wrong. But yeah, my point is, you don't need to fuck around with sine and cosine when it's just about the area of a triangle, while you know the length of all sides. Like, my fucking god. Ugh, I suck at math. I couldn't even begin to make sense of what Sensei was saying. What use was this gonna be once it went down to the world? Shouldn't addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division be plenty, damn it?
ここの数式は
Another one was getting more incomprehensible by the minute. The sound of the chalk was oddly pleasing to my ears. Though earlier than usual, so I was getting pretty sleepy at this point.
マイナス A プラス B プラス C イコール2カッコ S マイナス A カッコ閉じで式はこうなるわけだ。この公式を何というか吉備みや。
ヘルンの公式です。
そうだ。1年の問題ではあるがボーナス問題としてテストに出してやる。ちゃんと解けるようにしとけよ。じゃあ次の例題を浦部。おい浦部。
ちょっとケイスケ。
俺の授業で居眠りといい度胸をしている。
Let us. My body moved on reflex. Before I knew it, I caught and stuffed the chalk between my fingers just like the post-apocalyptic savior would.
すげえ玉彦先生の弾丸チョークを
西真空派浦部ただもんじゃねえ。
Shit, I responded on reflex! Apply it in can also find a kernel of corn.
浦部圭介、俺のチョークを受け止めたことは褒めてやる。だがな、授業中に寝るな、バカ者！
Ow!
今度舐めたままにしてやる。放課後にみっちりしごいてやる。泣いたり笑ったりできなくしてやる。
What sort of demonic sergeant are you?
返事はどうした？
Sir, yes, sir! Not only did I get yelled at, he took away my time after school too, harsh. I'd have to be extra careful not to doze off in class again after this.
よし、今日はここまで。ちゃんと復習しておくように。分かったな、浦部圭介！
I wasn't expecting the sudden screaming. Think, oh yes, alright, that's enough for today. Be sure to review that information thoroughly. Understand, you Nobigitsuke! Sorry, yes, sir. Ah, you have me in the sights now.
やあ、災難だったね。
自業自得とも言うけど。まあまあ、ともあれ、お昼にしませんか？
Yeah, let's eat up and recharge our batteries. I was very happy I was able to make the sort of friends I could eat meals with so soon after coming to this island. I flew solo throughout my long chain of school transfers, but just like with booze and a good meal, eating with friends made everything taste so much better.
いらっしゃいませ。
Hello, and sorry to keep you waiting.
いえいえ、私も今来たところですから。なんて言うと、なんだか私たち恋人同士みたいですね。
What I got no complaints hearing that from a beautiful woman like you, senpai.
玉彦先生。
Ah! I quickly turned around, but huh? Hey, you! There's nobody there.
お兄様は臨時職員会議があって今日は来られませんよ。
よほどさっきの剣が答えたと見えるね。
さっきの件？
実はケイスケが。
Hey, knock it out! Don't expose my shame to senpai. Covered Kumakichi's mouth,
ペロ
but
ペロペロペロペロ。
ah! That beast put his tongue on my hand. I wanted to have him lick me. Would covering his mascot mouth work anyways? Since the mouth is below. Nasty!
僕の口を塞ごうだなんて10年早いよ。
Bastard, what a nasty trick. I mean, tongue.
汚いのはケイスケの手の方じゃないか。どうせ舐めるならカナの手が良かったのに。
Damn you!
あんた筋金入りの変態。
兄様。
After I washed my defiled hand, I returned with tears in my eyes and learned Senpai had been brought up to speed on the incident in the
ダ
classroom.
メですよ、ケイスケ君。授業中に居眠りしちゃう。
Yeah, so be careful.
お昼にしましょう。
そうしましょう。お腹ペコペコよ。
I had things I wanted to say to Akari and Kumakichi, but I was equally hungry myself. I held back and opened up my bundle of lunch with everyone
う
else.
ん。イタさんのお弁当は今日も美味しそうだ。
Kan and Kumakichi's lunches were extravagant as usual and entirely different leagues from our own. Otome was having sandwiches today. She was off having a tune to herself as she poured and enjoyed the black tea from its bottle. She was in a different league herself in a different sense. They looked like fancy shrimp club sandwiches with a beautiful red jam in the middle. So that sandwich, for some reason, it's shiny.
よしと。やっぱりこれがなくっちゃね。
Before digging into her lunch, Akari cheerfully pulled out that sweet, thick, rich nectar she treated me to before. Don't tell me you're drinking that with your meal.
いいじゃない、好きなんだから。
Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Compared to the others, Akari's lunch didn't have anything like shrimp or teriyaki. However, it had a golden roasted omelet, fish with spinach, and other fare that kept balanced nutrition in mind. That familial feel to it, so that set a perfectly warm ambience. Lunch was almost like one your mom might make. Also, everyone's meals had their own unique size and shapes. Ultimate smallest lunch, that kana, followed by Akari. She was physically active, so it made sense that she would eat more.
何？人のお弁当をジロジロ見て。
Oh, just thinking, you're a pretty big eater.
軽い？別に太ってはいないと思うんだけど。
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. You're not fat at all, so don't worry. In fact, you're kind of on the thin side.
そう？
Yeah, really. Now then, my lunch is... turned my bundle and opened the lid to my lunchbox. Of course, this would probably be the always usual avant-garde style homemade lunchbox. Didn't hold out any hope for it visually from the start. The taste was always solid, and in spite of that, she prepared a rather large lunch for me today. I was grateful that it was at least edible. Huh? However, when I saw what lay there, I went stiff. Okay.
ひなまる弁当？
This is Akari had said there was a red pickled plum enshrined straight in the middle of a glossy white, a bright white plain of rice. It was a historically accurate representation of the Hiromaru lunchbox, which carried one of Japan's oldest culinary traditions into the modern era.
ケイスケ、葵ちゃんに何をしたんだい？
I'm not sure.
まさか妹の部屋に忍び込んで下着をくんかくんか。許せない許せないよ、浦部圭介。
You're the only one who would do something like that. You prefer to bear an ordinary person would think of crap like that.
Ow!
After knocking Kumakichi over, I looked back at my lunchbox again. It was a fine Hinamaru lunchbox through and through. Well, I guess having the pickled plum was better than nothing. It's fine. Getting to eat white rice is perfect. Just perfect. Thanks for the meal. Damn, this pickled plum is delicious. This rice is so tasty. Hooray for Japan, the country of rice. If you're Japanese, you gotta eat rice. The rice actually was delicious. It's very sweet even. But I wonder why I felt so defeated. I'll drown my sorrows with rice.
仕方ないわね。あまりいいものじゃないけど、私のおかず少し分けてあげる。
Akari offered me a piece of her hamburger steak, which was covered in ketchup sauce and cut to the size of her lunchbox. Oh, Akari, you're a true friend! I immediately bit into the precious protein and scarfed it down. Yet perfect seasoning. It's pretty delicious, even cold. Yeah, this is amazing. I'd assume you made it.
口にあってよかったわ。
You really are a great cook, Akari. I do kind of get the impression you can do anything, not just cook, though.
何でもできて当たり前って言われて育ってきたからね。あかりちゃん。
I give him that she could do anything, huh? Being able to do anything was pretty incredible on its own, but I guess it was just showed how strict Kibutsumiya household could be. Maybe Akari's strained relationship with her family had something to do with the strict discipline they employed. Not that thinking about that here would do me any good. For the time being, I need to do something about this subtle yet heavy mood. The option I had was to chow down and play it off. Wow, this hamburger steak cereal is thirsty. It kicks my meal up a notch.
ありがとう。これも食べてみる？
Yeah, sorry about this, Akari. This was a dish I'd never seen before. Fish sausage stir fry sprinkled with shiso leaf. Shiso was, as well as the gentle and nostalgic flavor of fish sausage, spread to my mouth. Yes, this would make a perfect side dish with a nice stiff drink. Not just pretty elaborate. Do you like cooking, Akari?
ええ、この島じゃ外食できるところなんてあまりないし、自分好みに安く作ろうと思ったら自炊するしかないし。
See, I think that's a great thing, though. You'll make a great wife.
そう？
Yeah, I guarantee it.
うん、ありがとう。卵焼きも食べてみる？
I'd love to, but won't you go hungry? But you won't go hungry, right?
大丈夫。いっぱいあるから。
You sure? I'll help myself then. Oh, yeah, delicious. Man, that calm and happy expression on her face was too adorable for words.
お二人ともいい雰囲気ですね。あかりちゃんが奥さんになる日も近いですね。
Otome, your comments only serve to make the situation awkward instead of advancing it.
いきなり何ですか？どうしてそういう話になるんですか？
あら、ではあかりちゃんはケイスケくんのお嫁さんにはならないと。
それはその。
なら私もお嫁さん候補に立候補しちゃおうかな。はい、ケイスケくん。
What? This is... Otome spoke in the same sweet tone you'd expect of a new wife as she gently presented her sandwich to me with flushed
ほら
cheeks.
ほら、今日のは自信作なんです。してくださいな。
Nah, I can eat on my
遠
own.
慮なさらないでください。私がして差し上げたいんです。
ケイスケ、なんてラッキーな男。学園のマドンナ乙女先輩にしてもらえるなんて。
Kumagichi did have a point. Opportunities like this, especially when it was a hottie like Senpai, didn't come around that often. Never run into a situation like this before. It was super embarrassing, but it was the chance of a lifetime. Kumagichi, thanks. You've opened my eyes.
分かってくれたかい？
Yeah, as such, Senpai will happily take you up on your offer. Ah!
はい、たんと召し上がれ。
Fire hot passion burning in my heart, I took a bite of the sandwich Senpai had held out to me. Oh! At that moment, the extremely familiar flavor of an ingredient I never would have imagined making a good partner to bread spread out my mouth. Oh, this is marinated mackerel?
はい、意外かもしれませんが、美味しいんですよ。
Yeah, this is great. Horseradish gives it a good tingle. Yeah. Ah, booze! This flavor makes me want to chug down some
ご
booze!
感想は？
It's so delicious, I think I might die.
ありがとうございます。また作ってきて差し上げますね。
Your goddess.
ケイスケくんたら大げさですね。
乙女先輩の方がお嫁さん候補に近いんじゃないですか？とかして喜んでるくらいですし、ケイスケもまんざらでもなさそうですし。
あらあら、 焼き餅ですか？
違います。
That makes me sad, actually.
何言ってるのよ。
そんな意地を張ってないで、あかりちゃんもあーんしましょうよ。
I am.
楽しいですよ。
He just sits there like, I am but an animal in a zoo. The way people feed me.
私はいいです。恋人でもないのにそんなことできません。
そうですか。じゃあ、かなちゃんやってみませんか？私ですか？
なんだって。それはもしかして僕にしてくれるって流れかな。
いいものですよ。殿方にあーんってするの。じゃあ、私の手作りではなくて申し訳ないのですが、
Ah, the way she shyly held out her sight. This was so pure and wonderful. Well, it's a rare occasion also. Oh, it's definitely going to be preparing an experienced chef. With a refined and an outstanding flavor. Very good.
初めてあーんしちゃいました。
かなた、僕にもあーんしておくれよ。
兄様にはちゃんとおかずがあるじゃないですか。
ケイスケ、今は君を殺したいほど妬ましい。まさか日の丸弁当がフラグだったとは。
あとはあかりちゃんだけですね。
嫌です。そんな恥ずかしいことできません。
あらあら、あかりちゃんには無理でしたか。残念。
無理なんかじゃないですけど。
ではレッツあーん。やはり無理ですか。まあ、うぶなあかりちゃんにはできなくても仕方ありませんね。ではでは、続いて私が
ケイスケ、口開けて。
Huh? Akari went beet red, her mouth tapered at the corners as she held out one of her side dishes. Anyway, you looked at it, she definitely looked like she was forcing herself. Nah, it's okay. You already gave me some of your
いいから口を開けなさい。あんくらい簡単なんだから。
Akari replied, strutting a bit out in front of her. The lack of embarrassment that was present when Senpai did it made me both happy and lonely at the
あ
same
かりちゃん、ちゃ
time.
んとあーんって言わないとダメですよ。
そんなルールいつ決まったんですか？
あらあら、できないんですか？やはりここは
それくらいできます。できますけど。
Akari's face was so red it looked like an ripe apple. Yeah, this really didn't match personality, so of course she would be forcing herself. I was starting to feel a bit bad for her. Akari, you don't need to force yourself, okay?
ケイスケ、
Like I said, it's alright, Senpai. Please stop instigating her so much.
あかりちゃんは頑張り屋さんですから。
Nah, I knew she was doing it on purpose! Although it was provoking Akari just because she thought it'd be funny. Should I say that Akari had a pretty strong fighting spirit? Nah, it'd be more accurate to say that she had no goading resistance whatsoever. Definitely the type that would be easily manipulated and go beat red if she went on a certain anonymous online message board.
ほら、ケイスケ、
Akari sounded desperate at this point, but her stubbornness overpowered her obvious embarrassment. This entire thing had gone off the rails, but I may as well accept my fate now that it'd come this far. We'd come this far. Alright, I got it. Challenge accepted. On that note,
いやー、お兄ちゃんごめんね。おかずを渡すの忘れ。
I stood on the other side of the door, which she suddenly flung open and was frozen solid. Talk about bad timing. This must have been how a cheating husband felt when he got caught. Talk about relatable.
おい、葵。中に入らないのか？んなんだお前たち。いつの間にそういう仲になったのだ？
Kuria's caught my eyes upon her. Akari's face instantly boiled, almost like an empty kettle on an open flame.
見ての通り、あかりちゃんがケイスケくんにあーんしていたんですよ。ラブラブです。
お兄ちゃん、やっぱりあかりさんのことを愛して、できて、妊娠。
That escalated quickly!
そうよ、 よ。これは先輩がやれって言うから。
くーちゃん、食堂行こっか。余っちゃったおかず一緒に食べよう。
委員会室で食べるのではなかったのか？私も先輩たちに言おうが。いいから来なさい。おい、こら、向こうで私を引きずるんじゃない。ちょっと怖いぞ、お前。
Hey, come back, Aoi! Come back with the side dishes!
葵ちゃん、誤解。さっきのは誤解なのよ。
あらあら、まあまあ。大変なことになってきましたね。
誰のせいだと思ってるんですか？
I might have gotten a couple of perks out of it, but it looked like I wouldn't be eating Aoi's cooking for a while.
よし、今日はここまでだ。気をつけて帰れよ。
Is that for you, Urabe Keisuke? Akari quietly stood up from her seat when homeroom ended. Her chair would usually cry out with a gruff screech from under her, but she was acting like a calm, refined lady today. Felt somewhat uneasy, quickly packed up her belongings and rushed over to her side. You seem kind of calm today, huh?
そう？
You usually seem like you're in more of a rush. Your eyes get all slanted and your mouth just goes into this half frown. Lifted up the edges of my eyes with my fingers and distorted my mouth to give my best impression.
そんな顔してないわよ。
Now you totally have, right, Kana? Kana just happened to finish getting ready to leave, so I turned the conversation over to her.
何のお話ですか？
About how Akari's been making faces like this when she goes home lately. Look, I showed Kana my same impression from earlier.
よく似てると思います。
カナまで笑うことないじゃない。私そんな顔してないってば。
Oops.
ごめんね、あかりちゃん。でも、そうですね。1週間前に比べたら、ちょっとだけ穏やかになったかもですね。
Except that Kana flashed me a brief, meaningful glance. Yeah, you might be right about that. She was so full of energy, even an Oni might hightail it from her barefooted.
桃太郎なだけに、ですか？
Yeah.
何を二人して言いたい放題言ってくれちゃって。偽裏大使なんだから真剣に当たって何が悪いのよ。
Sorry, true enough. Going on a patrol again today, right?
そうしたいのは山々だけど、今日はバイトが入っちゃって。
バイト？
ええ、シフトミスってたらしくて、今日はクレハしかいないのよ。店長に電話越しにマジ泣きされてね。
そうなんだ。それは困ったね。
Yeah, that's amazing, though. You're taking on more work, even though you've got your hands full with this fake Uda thing.
そっかな。
Yeah, you always look so fired up when you go out on your patrols, yet you prioritized your manager's request.
まあ、誰かさんのせいで、最近なんだかジョギングしてるだけのような気もするけどね。
Oh! Sorry.
冗談よ。ま、パトロールも大事だけど、ある程度はバイトにも出ないと食べていけないしね。仕方ないわ。
Won't be able to eat? Is your family not supporting you financially?
断ってる。家を出たのは私の意思だもの。あの人に実家に頼るつもりは毛頭ないわ。
Akari had that same intense look in her eyes when she pursued the fake Uda.
あかりちゃん。
ごめん、変なこと言ったわね。忘れて。
Sounded like Akari's home life was less than perfect. Despite her level-headed nature, she sure was prone to childish ideas and mannerisms. Couldn't help but sigh at that realization.
何よ、そのため息は。
If you want me to forget about what you just said, then I will. However, I want to say something first.
何？
In the grand scheme of things, our accomplishments don't really amount to much. We're all small, insignificant beings who need the help of the adults around us to survive. Why are you so hell-bent on flying solo and asserting yourself? Pushing yourself isn't going to suddenly make you an adult.
ケイスケさん。
そんなこと分かってる。だから早く自活できるように勉強してるのよ。
Going to run yourself into the ground if you keep this up. What happened to your daily patrols? Like what happened with your daily patrols?
余計なお世話よ。放っておいて。
All eyes were on us when Akari's booming voice echoed throughout the classroom. Akira must have noticed as well. She quickly clamped her mouth shut, then, after a moment of silence,
Kairu!
shouted. She turned her back to me and bolted out into the hallway.
ケイスケさん、言い過ぎですよ。
Sorry, looking at her kind of set me
です
off.
が、ケイスケさんがああ言ってくれて、少しだけほっとしました。
Is
あ
that?
かりちゃんはいい子ですし、常にまっすぐな性格をしています。ですが、過ちを犯さないというわけではありません。何かを謝ったとき、本当は誰かあかりちゃんを叱る人が必要だと思うんです。でも、家庭の事情もありますし、この島で吉備津宮家の人間に強く言える人は少なくて。
What about you, Kana? Even Kamakichi or Otome would work too. She can get pretty bull-headed, but shouldn't friends speak up in times like these?
はい。ケイスケさんのおっしゃる通りです。ですが、私は坂上家の当主で、あかりちゃんは吉備津宮の次期当主です。ですから、いくら幼馴染とはいえ、御三家のお家事情に踏み込んだことを発言すると、いろいろと大ごとになってしまうんです。
That's about what obligations they may have. Wasn't overcoming those obstacles and speaking out something real friends were supposed to do, especially if she treasured her. Still, I wasn't intimately familiar with the inner workings of the three great families, so this may not have been an appropriate time for me, an outsider, to butt in. Obligations, huh? Three great families sound like they have lots of problems.
そうですね。
My tone suddenly grew gloomy and made it sound like I was mocking the situation. The sort of behavior wasn't good, especially when Kana had done nothing wrong. Sorry, I should just keep my mouth shut.
いえ、気にしないでください。ケイスケさんの言うことは正しいです。ケイスケさん、また一つお願いをしてもいいでしょうか。
What is it?
今お話しした事情がありまして、あかりちゃんのお母様も私たちもあかりちゃんを叱るのは難しいんです。
You're asking me to do it?
はい。先ほどのようにきちんとおっしゃってくださる方は、ケイスケさんみたいな人はそういなくて。
So I get to play the bad
ごめん
guy.
なさい。ですが、このようなことを頼める人はケイスケさんしかいないんです。
Kinda pleaded, just like she had done before, bowed her head deeply. Looks like I don't have a choice. You're a sly one, Kana! Of course I know how to something like that.
ありがとうございます。それと、本当にすみません。
This whole thing was weighing on me pretty heavily, especially after what happened with Akari earlier, but I had to make it work somehow. There was an air of hostility between us that I hated. Perhaps I really had gone too far. Yeah, I understand. In that case, I'll go patch things up with her a little bit. In a little bit.
ありがとうございます。お願いします。
It's like last time I waved to Kana and left the classroom. Okay, I guess it was about time to clear the air with a certain ticked-off lady. Hey, Akari, wait up a sec.
何の用？
When I hurried outside and called out to her, she glared at me with one hell of a look. Duh, she must have been livid. I should be grateful she even responded at all. Well, I feel like I went too far and wanted to apologize. I really am sorry.
謝られても私考え方は変えないわよ。
Well, opinions like mine exist too, is all. Just try and give it some thought when you can.
そんな必要ないわ。時間の無駄よ。
Oh boy, talk about
いい
stubborn.
から放っておいて。それと、いつまでついてくる気？私はこれからバイトで忙しいんだけど。
Harsh. But this was a battle I couldn't lose. Come on, don't be like that. I was thinking of supporting the place you work as my way of apologizing.
勝手にしなさい。
As if to say that was the end of our conversation, Akari turned her back to me and walked off. We didn't have any real conversation after that, and just as the sun began to set, we arrived at the tea kettle.
いらっしゃい。
Ooh, my stomach
って
hurts.
なんだお前か。胃が痛いなら腕のいい脳外科医を紹介するぞ。
Stomachs and brains have nothing to do with each other. Why are you being cruel to your customers?
変態は客ではない。お帰りは窓だ。Go now.
Did you just say go now? If I were to methodically, albeit begrudgingly, concede to the whole pervert thing and place an order like the gentleman that I am, that would definitely make me a customer. Am I wrong? You get paid for working here, and I'd be one of your customers, right?
変態のくせに生意気な公爵を。仕方ないな。金を出すなら一応客として扱ってやる。こっちらついてこい。
Alright. Let's go to the empty counter, all while being treated like some sort of inmate and ordered a sweet sake. Jeez, dealing with Kodashi was rough sometimes, but it was probably the only customer she treated so poorly. I was hit by some realization when I looked around and saw every seat in the cafe was filled. Could have treated every customer like this. There would have to be a cuckoo sound effect playing in the background all throughout the shop. Well, they sure are busy today. Took a drink of my ice cold water and took another look around. Could roughly divide their clientele into two categories: women turning to the sweets for comfort and leering men. As for what they were leering at, well,
いらっしゃいませ。
a freshly changed Akari appeared in the shop in a waitress uniform, and the men let out a resounding "Oh!" Yep, that's what I thought.
すいません。
いらっしゃいませ。ご注文はお決まりですか？
茶釜コークと、そうだな。どれにしようかな。
His customers' utterly indecisive eyes were darting back and forth, not at the menu, but at Akari and her getup. As a fellow man, I could understand how they felt. Kuda was cute in her uniform, but Akari's slamming figure only accentuated its alluring nature. My eyes couldn't resist being drawn to her chest. I couldn't help myself. It would be bad if I made a move on her while she was still on the clock, though. Damn, those peachy titties of hers sure were massive. She also had a slim, beautiful waistline. You could also say that the line from her butt to her thighs had just the right amount of heft, too. Unlike Kuda's knee-high socks, Akari's black stockings gave off quite an erotic aura. Ah, crap, Akari was coming this way.
はい。甘酒お待たせ。
Akari pouted and set down the Japanese-styled mug. He spilled a little and made no attempt to wipe it up.
さっきから何ジロジロ見てるのよ。このエッチ。
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking of how great that uniform looks on you.
やめてよ。さっきから他の人にも変な目で見られて困ってるんだから。
I really am sorry, but why didn't you just wear a different uniform then? Kuria didn't have one when she came by earlier. Didn't Kuria have one when she came by earlier?
うん。ハイカラさんみたいな矢がすりの着物だったわね。
Why not wear that one? Knowing you, it'd look awesome if you put your hair up in a ponytail to go with it.
それは店長の意向だし、ゴーにいればゴーに従えって言うし、何よりクレハに悪いし。
Akari bashfully laced her fingers together and looked away. She may have liked the uniform more than she let on. This was probably just her way of coping with the embarrassment. Couldn't help but stifle a laugh when that thought came to mind. Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's a nice saying.
何がおかしいのよ。
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this outfit looks great on you, so I think it's fine.
キビツミヤ先輩、イチャついてないでさっさと仕事しろ。オーダーが溜まってるぞ。何を言ってるのよ。誰もイチャついてなんかないわよ。それと相手は選んだ方がいいぞ。よりによって変態とする仲になるとは。もっといい男がいるだろうに。だからあれは誤解だってば。
What the? Blended into the shop's background music, but I definitely just heard a shutter sound. Flash even seemed to go off.
バカ、フラッシュ切っとけって言っただろ。ごめんつい。
When I surveyed the room, I spotted a group of men in one of the far booths, and one of them was attempting to hide his camera. When Akari noticed, she instantly shot them a glare and briskly stomped up to them.
お客様、店内は撮影は禁止です。
でも、せっかく来たんだし、ちょっと。
勝手に人を映すなんてマナー違反でしょ。カメラを扱う人がそんなこともわきまえないなんて恥を知りなさい。
いいじゃないか。そんな服着てるんだから、むしろもっとサービスしてほしいもんだぜ。
んな服だと？当店はそのようないかがわしいサービスは行っておりません。重ねて申し上げますが、店内は撮影禁止です。やめていただけないのならお帰りください。
いいじゃねえか。こっちとらわざわざ船に乗ってこんなちんけな島に来てやったんだぞ。
ちんけな島？
Akari clenched her teeth and glared at him. She loved this island from the bottom of her heart. There was no way she wouldn't get angry hearing that sort of baseless
そ
criticism.
うそう、外貨取得大事でしょ。いっぱい注文してやるからさ、いいじゃない。可愛い感が台無しだよ。
Group of men seemed unfazed by her demands, pulled out their cameras, and showered her in a cascade of camera
ちょっ
flashes.
とやめなさい。やめてって言ってるでしょ。
いやー、可愛い子がいるって書き込みがあったから来てみたけど、こんな偏僻なところにグレードの高い店があるなんて驚きだよ。
お、そっちの小さい子も可愛いね。ロリッコ燃えるね。
小さいロリだと。ちょっといい加減にしなさいよ。
おお、揺れた。地味に巨竜子じゃん。たまらんよ君。
I feel like
グレ
we
ード
didn't
高い
need
よ。
a CG for that.
どこ見てるのよこの変態。
いい形してるね。たまんないね。ほら、もっと見せて。
やめて。取らないで。
Akari's face flushed crimson as she covered her breasts with her arms and was subjected to one merciless flash after another.
こりゃいいネタにな。
ああ、こりゃ今月のトップはこの子で間違いなしだな。俺たちが君をアイドルにしてやるよ。
The more red-faced and upset Akari got, the more flashes seemed to get added to the mix. I was also a customer who would likely cause trouble for Akari and the others if I stuck my nose into their business. With that said, I was gritting my teeth in an effort to suppress my anger during the entire encounter.
いいね、その表情、そそるよ。
おほほほ胸だけじゃないね。いい足してんじゃん。
I can feel like at this point, it would not be making trouble for her if you stepped in, because this is blatant, open, public sexual harassment. I feel like you are very much justified in, beating the shit out of him. Couldn't stand it anymore. Okay, you sleaze bags, that's enough. Sorry, I should have stepped in sooner, but it'll be okay now. Showed teary-eyed Akari a smile and forced myself between them. Didn't matter if I'd become a nuisance or not, I couldn't stand idly by and watch my friend cry. Alrighty, how should I have you guys make up for this?
なんだてめえは。お前には関係ねえだろ。
Unfortunately for you, it's very much my business, you damn maggot. You're messing with the wrong guy. Who said you could take pictures of my precious woman without her permission? Angry outburst made the whole shop fall deathly silent, but the brown-haired man didn't act like he'd given up yet.
男がいたのかよ。まあいいや。俺は処女じゃなくても食える男だぜ。
Let's see, how about you start by hitting the table instead? The brunette hadn't learned his lesson and tried to point his camera at her, so I slammed his face into the table and confiscated his camera. If you need fab material that badly, just go download it off the internet like everyone else and catch a virus while you're at it. I'm deleting these.
バカやめろ。俺の秘蔵コレクション。
Grabbed and operated the guy's camera with one hand, opened up the gallery and checked the photos he'd take. Deep shots he'd taken of Akari moments before popped up one after another. Not a single one out of focus. You do seem to know your way around a camera, but you'll make it cry if all you take are peep
て
shots.
めえ、よくもやりやがったな。
よくも僕をバカにしてくれたな。
Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the other two goons had balled up their fists and were in mid-punch. However, there was no chance their amateur punches would ever connect. I jerked my neck around and...
おっぱ。
あ、手が滑った。
Before they could react, she smacked both the attackers with a huge kettle. She left me with a great big smirk. Yeah, not much you can do. Do if your hand slipped.
変な顔で笑うな、バカ。
I grinned wide and even further when I tried to Kurea, but she looked away and had no interest in playing nice. Oh well, that was more her style anyway. Go on, Akari, wipe the camera's memory.
ちょっと壊れ物なんだから投げちゃダメだってば。
Tossed their cameras over to Akari. The way she caught them all in midair, in spite of her embarrassment, was one of the incredible things about
も
her.
う精密機械はもっと優しく。やだ、何これひどい。ここだけじゃないわ。あっちこっちのお店でやってるのね。
うっせえな。お前には関係ねえだろ。返せよ、泥棒。
Take peep shots are a form of robbery too, you know. Also, no one said you could talk. I smushed the man's face up against the desk. His companions were too intimidated by Kurea's gaze to move.
メモリってフォーマットしただけじゃ消しきれないことがあるのよね。
Akari skillfully removed the memory cards from the devices and... she stomped on the memory cards a few times before thoroughly grinding it under her foot.
よし、これでもう復活できないわね。
何すんだよ。まだバックアップ取ってないのに。
Great to hear it! Guess you can rest easy knowing none of these will wind up online later.
きっしょだが俺にはまだあれが。
え、お冷やが欲しい？仕方ないな。
クレハ？
Kurea played innocent and brought over a cup filled with ice water when...
ああ、足が滑った。
Like so, she dumped the whole thing over the bag at their feet.
何すんだカメラが
Ah, you had more in there! Why don't we have a look at those two?
うっせえ何の権利があってお前
あ、また手が滑った。
ギャホ
Kurea smacked the guy who was about to lunge at me upside the head with a huge platter. I used that as an opportunity to recover the camera set up in his bag and open the gallery. Here I found some pristine panty shells of Akari and Kurea taken from highly suggestive angles. We've got rock solid proof of your crimes right here. Want to take a look, Kurea? Just as I handed the camera over to Kurea.
あ、今度は指が滑った。
She dropped the camera to the floor with a bull shuriken from her pocket and readied herself to destroy the camera when...
メ
Akari...
モリは消すなり壊すなりすればいいわ。でもカメラに罪はない。
何を言っている。返せばこのド変態どものことだ。必ず同じことを繰り返すぞ。
かもね。それでもその子たちは壊さないであげて。お願いだから。
Kurea hurled the dropped camera over to Akari. I guess she'd leave everything to Akari now. Okay then, let me ask you one last question. You can either be good little boys and hand over all your hidden cameras, or put a finger over here, we'll confiscate them. Which would you prefer? You must have finally given up and put one camera after another on the table. Take out your phones too. They are all used all the time nowadays to take peep shots. Gave them one quick pat down to ensure there were no other devices on their person while Akari erased all the pictures. Akari made sure to format every last memory card with the sole of her foot. Seeing that the cell phone data had been erased twofold surely made some momentary peace of mind.
これでいいわ。カメラと携帯は返してあげる。さあ、警察を呼ばれる前に出て行って。もう二度とこの店に。島に来ないで。
くそこんな島二度と来るかよ
ひどいよ。僕のライフワークが。
ちくしょう覚えてやがれ。
Peep and Toms gave those sharp yet classic parting comments and hurried their way out of the shop. You can only hope they learned from this and stopped taking those sorts of pictures. Oh well, either way, I guess this case was closed.
皆様、お騒がせして大変申し訳ございません。
Akari apologized and bowed her head deeply to the other customers.
顔を上げてあかりちゃん。立派だったわよ。さすが桃太郎の子孫ね。
やるね、そこのお兄さん。男だね。
クレハちゃん渋すぎ。私ファンになっちゃう。
バカ、勝手にファンになるな。迷惑だ。あかりちゃんたらいつの間に彼氏なんて作ったの？いい男を捕まえて幸せね。
いや、違います。あれはケイスケの嘘です。嘘。
No, it really wasn't. You're my woman, well, in the sense that you're a girl from my class I'm close to.
女子？ああ、
Why did she
そういう意
look
味よね。
mildly disappointed?
分かってたわ。
She was already fidgety. Had I made her self-conscious? Just as I thought, Akari was much cuter when she was all shy and meek like this than when she was angry. Do get why those guys would want to take photos of you, though. Having an attractive subject would make anyone want to snap a few pics. That's obvious even to a camera-averse guy like myself. You look amazing in your uniform. A nice outfit really does do wonders, right, Korea?
そんなことは知らん。だが、確かにキビツミヤ先輩はいいモデルになった。その服、お前が着ることを意識して作ったからな。そうなの？やだ、嬉しい。
It's so cute how red your face gets.
恥ずかしいこと言わないでよ、このバカバカ。
that's just the way it is. So what do you want from me? That's just our role, you know.
嘘をつけない。
Exactly.
バカ。とにかくいい加減営業再開だ。奥で店長が困ってる。そこのバカップルもイチャつくのもそれくらいにしておけ。だからカップルじゃないってば。
ももちゃんが赤くなってる。
みんなのバカ。
Akari ran into the back room to escape the customer's laughter. Yep, no matter how many times I saw it, Akari was adorable when she got shy. Now then. It was great that I drove them off, but there was still a chance they could come back for revenge. I'd better keep an eye out on the store for the rest of the day. There was a chance Akari and Korea would think I was ungrateful for all their hard work if I hung around after only ordering a sweet sake, but...
はい。
Sat back down, checked to make sure those guys weren't outside the window when Akari set a second sweet sake down at my table. Huh? But I already ordered one.
今日のお礼よ。おごってあげる。好きなんでしょ、甘酒。
Yeah, if that's what it is, I appreciate the gesture.
それで、さっきは助かったわ。ありがとう。
Sure, was I at least a little
ちょ
helpful?
っとはね。
Yeah, that's most important. With a smile, I took a sip of the sweet sake. Yep, excellent taste as usual. Akari's face was still red. Expressions like this were most precious of all, considering how self-assured she normally was. Definitely a sight I'd love to preserve with a camera. Not a panty shot, but her adorable face. Mind if I stick around the shop for a while today?
別に構わないけど、どうして？
I'll be your bouncer. There's no guarantee those guys wouldn't come back to settle the score, right?
でも、あそこまでやったんだし、今日はもう来ないと思うけど、それに店員っていう立場さえなければ、あんな連中40秒で叩きのめせるわ。
You froze up when they took pictures of your boobs, though. You even started crying.
それは。
You may be Momotaro's descendant, but you're a girl first and foremost. Anyone would be afraid if they were in that kind of situation.
ちゃんと女の子として見てくれてるんだ。
Why shouldn't I?
そうよね。ごめんなさい。変なこと言って。そっか。女の子。
Huh, Akari was blushing all the way to her ears. But treating her like a girl would really make her less happy. She was strong-willed and stubborn as all hell, but I was pretty sure I treated her like a girl from the very beginning. Anyway, I'll be in your hair for a little while longer. I'll even walk you back to your dorm too, is that okay? Well, just think of it as me showing off to those guys, or that I'm your retainer.
何それ。それじゃあ本当に桃太郎じゃない。でもそうね。それじゃあ念のために送ってもらおうかな。
Woof woof, I'll be your retainer, Momotaro-san.
それじゃあきびだんごあげなくちゃね。
Akari vanished into the kitchen and brought out a serving of millet dumplings. Oh, I wasn't begging for them or anything.
これもサービスだから気にしないで。お礼の先払い。
Pardon me for this, Granny. Sorry for the trouble.
それはいい子なしよ、おじいさん。それじゃあお店終わったらよろしくね。それとありがとう。あの時のあなたかっこよかったわよ。
Huh?
なんでもない。
Akari replied with a smile, gave me a quick curtsy, and returned to work. Pondered how things would work out for a minute there, but Akari's hostility had faded away. Guess it all worked out in the end. Afterward, I lounged around and killed time, taking teensy sips of my sweet sake and nibbling at the Malay dumplings until closing time.
お待たせ。
No big deal. Go to work today. Sorry for bringing this on you.
こんな時間までお店にいさせてごめんね。
Don't worry about it. I'm the one who offered to walk you home.
ありがとう。やれやれ。吉備津宮先輩の言葉には説得力が。
Whoops.
やれやれ。吉備津宮先輩の言葉には説得力がないな。何よ、いきなり失礼ね。どういうことよ。あれだけ恋人じゃないとか言っておいてこれだからな。目がハートマークになっていたぞ。だからどうしてそういう方向に持ってくのよ。何？起きた出来事を客観的に分析した昼休みの暗事件。先ほどの俺の女発言。そして夜道を男に遅らせるというノーガードプリ。それは全部偶然だってば。だが偶然は3つ重なれば必然とも言う。事実の積み重ねというものは言葉よりも重い。違うか？でも違うったら、ケイスケもなんか言ってよ。
You know, it does hurt a little when you deny it so strongly, but yeah, we're not lovers. I offered to walk around because I was worried about those peeping toms from earlier. Because I was worried about those peeping toms from earlier coming back for revenge.
ああ、あいつらか。確かに仕返しの可能性は否定できないな。
Right, Akari does seem reasonably strong, but she is a girl, so I'm a little worried.
ケイスケ。
That does imply that 100% he does not see Kura as a girl.
またハートが出てる。変態に恋するなど病気だな。
Just throwing out insults like they were nothing. Anyway, that's all there's to it. I'd be happy to walk you home too, Kura.
断る。自分の身くらい自分で守れる。お前といる方が危険だ。
Kura was as blunt a blunt little spitfire, wasn't she?
待てよ。何？不本意だが、変態の言うことも一理あるな。確かに夜道は危険だ。いいだろ。私も世話になってやる。
Oh, wasn't expecting such a meek response.
だが途中までだぞ。それ以降は迷惑だ。
Sure, that's fine. I'll only walk you part of the way.
クレハは素直じゃないわね。
What I'd like to say is, so are you, but I laughed and agreed with her instead. We eventually departed, and I was on guard the entire walk. It was as expected, uneventful. Nobody appeared to be tailing us, and we made it to the crossroads without
こ
incident.
こまででいい。道も明るいし、寮はすぐ近くだからな。
In that case, maybe I should walk you the rest of the
お
way.
前に家まで来られる方が迷惑だ。変態菌が蔓延して30日後にバイオハザードが起きてしまう。
Is that right? Well, okay, take care.
おやすみクレハ。今日はありがとう。礼を言われるようなことはしていない。
With this final sneer, Korea turned her back to us and left. The plum dorm was just a stone throw away, so she'd probably be fine on her own. Shall we be off then, milady?
冗談でもそれはやめて。
Huh?
実家にいた頃を思い出すから。いつも通りに名前で呼んで。
Oh, sorry, Akari.
それじゃあ行こっか。
Akari and I walked side by side under the starry sky. We didn't talk much on the way to her place, mostly due to the questionable mood we had going on prior to our arrival.
拍子抜けするくらい何もなかったわね。
Well, that was the most we could ask for.
それもそうね。それじゃあここで。今日は本当にありがとう。
You're welcome. Good night, Akari.
おやすみ、ケイスケ。
That just when Akari's face turned a bright pink and she waved goodbye.
お兄ちゃん！
The runaway limited express sprinted us at full speed and left a cloud of dust in our wake.
お兄ちゃん晩ご飯食べた？まだだよね。そうだよね。今日は私が作ってあげる。だから部屋に行こう。
Sure, I'd appreciate it, but...
それじゃああかりさん失礼します。また来世。
Hey, Aoi!
また明日？
As though a rather confused Akari off as Aoi literally dragged me back to the dorm. A little while later, I took my seat across from Aoi at the table, who had cooked dinner in total silence.
で、お兄ちゃん、どういうこと？
She slammed the table and howled like a puppy as she spoke up. Nothing's going on, and I don't really see what you're getting at.
お昼にメギツネ。もとい、あかりさんにあーんされてたじゃない。あの話だよ。
Oh, right. That feels like a memory now.
何を一人で懐かしがってるの？私にとってはナウな出来事ナウ。おまけに遅くまで一緒にいて仲良く寮まで送り届けとかどういうことなの？はっ、まさかもうあかりさんと年頃にゃーな関係に私という制裁がありながら？
No, we haven't had sex, and you're not my wife. You're my sister, and that's all.
捨てた！私という家族を捨てた！
You're really blowing this out of proportion. A family register says we're a blood-related family. As usual, Melissa's sister was rambling up a storm. I summed up the course of events this afternoon for her. And then...
なんだ、そうだったの。勘違いしちゃった。
I always said that before sticking out her tongue and going tee. Some things seriously never changed. She hardly ever listened to what others had to say, but once she did, she seemed to fully understand. Despite her mild brother complex, I was a nice and upstanding person. I was proud of my sister in every way possible.
それじゃあ、改めていただきます。
Yeah, let's eat. Just took a bite of the brown, mysterious side dish out of my mouth. It was reminiscent of a Dororichi treat and tasted like nikujaga. It'd be great to eat on top of a bed of rice. Pickled daikon was cut unevenly, and there was something resembling daikon kimchi mixed in. But oh well, that had no impact on the flavor. Spinach ohitashi usually made a nice pile of bonito flakes. I usually had a nice pile of bonito flakes sprinkled over it, but this was more like a flat plane of weeds. Was it tasty in a sense? It was tasty, but couldn't help but think about Akari's refined and flavorful lunch from that afternoon. Oh, your meals are tasty, but couldn't you work a little harder on the presentation? That's all it would take to massively improve it.
これでも頑張ってるんだけどな。どうにもうまくいかなくて。
Well, he certainly was a hard worker, and she was skilled with her fingers and an apt cook. It was just the appearance that transcended the Milky Way galaxy. This was a job for someone with some real aesthetic sense. No sense of complaining was going to help her improve on its own. It would be a different story if we had someone around that could show her how to cook, but we didn't know anyone like that. I guess there's always Akari and Otome.
なんでそこであかりさんたちの名前が出た？ 30秒以内に答えなさい。
I was thinking we could ask them to help you improve your cooking.
ブブー、時間切れです。よっておかずは没収。
No way! Depriving me of all these delicious dishes is absolutely brutal.
おいしい？しょうがないな。じゃあ、葵愛してるって言ったらおかず返してあげる。
Oh, I love you as a sister.
最後のはいらなかった。いらなかったよ。でも今はそれで満足してあげる。
She seemed satisfied by our little back and forth, and she docilely returned my dishes. Practically speaking, Aoi's cooking tasted good. If for the luxury of mine to complain about her presentation given that. Still, Akari and Otame's home cooking was delicious, and both of them fed me. That was the greatest luxury a man could get. Guys in my class would be stupidly jealous if they ever found out.
お兄ちゃん、鼻の下伸ばして何考えてるの？まさか。
Oops, I messed up. She could read me like a book. Yeah, your food really is yummy. People tend to smile when they eat something good.
そっか。そういうこと。いいよ。おかわりいっぱいあるからたくさん食べてね。
I was a lifesaver that Aoi was so simple. Well, only Akari could be as honest too. Still hope we get like another CG before I'm ending this part. Because quite frankly, I do not want to use the Akari's getting unsolicited pictures taken of her. Because yeah, that's a yikes. A big ol' yikes. Sure.
Lunch bell went off and I headed to the committee room with Akari and the others. This exchange had become part of my daily routine.
Usual members gathered in the committee room, including Aoi and Kureha. My lunchbox even went off without a hitch. By the time we all started eating, Kana shyly spoke to Kureha.
聞きました。あかりちゃんとクレハちゃん、昨日は大変だったようですね。それほどでもない。
でも確かにそうね。ケイスケも言ってくれたし、なんてことなかったわ。
ケイスケさんが、そうですか。あかりちゃんを助けてくれてありがとうございます。
Nah, nothing you need to thank me for. I was just doing whatever I wanted.
しかしケイスケは結構大胆なんだね。さすがの僕もびっくりしたよ。
は？
私も聞きました。あかりちゃんの前で彼氏宣言までされたそうじゃないですか。
Ultimate wiggled her hips and squealed with glee, sending Akari and I into huge coughing fits. Who spilled the beans? I guess there were a lot of eyewitnesses. A small island, so rumors were bound to spread like a wildfire.
ちょっとお兄ちゃん、その件について詳しく。
Oh boy, it was just heat of the moment, but it seemed like the easiest way to get my point across. I never claimed I was a boyfriend, by the way.
似たようなものだろう。俺の大事な女とこ言っていたからな。
なんですって？
But it doesn't mean I said I was her boyfriend, does it?
ですが、嘘じゃないんですよね。
I guess, I guess she's a precious female friend. Saying Akari is a precious woman to me isn't a lie.
あらあら、まあまあ。男の子ですね、ケイスケ君。私も一度、そんなこと言われてみたいです。
Hey, please don't tease me, senpai!
大事な女？
Akari's face just poofed red.
大事な女。
The veins in Aoi's temples were bulging.
ちなみに昨日の3人組は顔写真を手配して渡航禁止にしておいたから安心していいよ。まあ二度とこの島に来ようとも思わないだろうけどね。
This should be his usual smile, but Mikichi was eerie enough today to ruin the entire mood. Must mobilize the Sakagami family and done something or another. That's great news, huh, Akari? Now you can focus on work and hunt for the fake Ura.
でも捜査には連れて行かないからね。
You're still saying that. That was one hardship down, but I still hadn't accomplished my original goal of going on patrols with Akari. Felt like we'd gotten a little closer, so I wish you would just acknowledge me already. When afternoon classes came to an end, Akari packed up her belongings and hightailed it out of the building. I collected my things and followed after her. School's over, but it's still bright out. The sun's been setting later recently.
だからついてきちゃダメって言ってるでしょ。遊びじゃないのよ。
Akari grimaced and pointed her finger in my face. She must have been getting fed up with my tagging along. I wasn't playing around, but I couldn't afford to tell her the real reason. Oh, no worries, I'm just going on a walk, you know the usual.
その言い訳は聞き飽きたわ。いい加減にしないとストーカーとして通報するわよ。
Ugh, that's rough. I don't think you have it in you to sell out a friend, though.
お願い、本当に帰って。それこそ友達を危ない目に遭わせたくないのよ。
I can't leave our klutzy samurai alone either, you know.
だからうっかり侍はやめてってば。ポカやったの一度だけじゃない。
一度だけじゃないと思うけどな。
カ の？
Kind of popped out of nowhere and made for some promising
知っ
reinforcement.
てますか、ケイスケさん。あかりちゃんはスペック的には優秀なのに、時々とんでもないうっかりを起こすんです。
Figured as much.
やっぱりです。昔からそうなんです。
だから違うってば！
ねえ、あかりちゃん、真剣に聞いて。私は、ケイスケさんを連れて、二人でパトロールした方がいいと思うよ。うっかりミスを防ぐだけじゃなくて、心の支えとしても。
心の支え？
Kana's voice gradually grew more and more serious, which prompted Akari to simmer down. With that, Kana continued to
あかり
speak.
ちゃんが強いのは知ってるけど、中身はやっぱり女の子なんだよ。昨日みたいなことがあった時、味方になってくれる男の子がそばにいてくれるのって、すごく心強いと思う。
でも、偽裏が出てきたらどうするのよ。戦いに巻き込まれたら危ないわ。ケイスケは普通の学生なのよ。友達に怪我を負わせるような真似。
My heart gave a harsh pang when I saw how genuinely concerned she was for my well-being. She really was a great
そ
person.
れなら、あかりちゃんがケイスケさんを守ってあげればいいんじゃないかな。
だけど、
あかりちゃんならできるよね。小さい頃からずっと稽古を重ねてきた自慢の剣があるもんね。
そりゃできなくはないけど。
Akari seemed to agree with the sentiment, yet such old yet close friends really were something else. Kana knew exactly what to say to push her in the right direction. Let me ask this of you one more time, too. I really am worried about you. When you got wrapped up with those guys yesterday, got shaken up and had tons of you got shaken up and had tons of openings too.
だってあれは。
Yes, I said as much yesterday, but I believe it was inevitable, since you're a girl, Akari. You know, to tell you the truth, I was actually a little happy at the time. I wonder if I was finally able to help you. When you thanked me at the end, it made me super happy. So I've been thinking about stuff like that, especially given the situation.
力になってくれたのは本当だし。
あら、やっぱり。なら、どうかな。ケイスケさんとパトロールしてみない？きっと力になってくれると思うよ。
でも、やっぱり友達をみすみす危険な目に遭わせるなんて。
Akari still voiced the dissent, but it was significantly toned down and much weaker than compared to before. One more push was all it was going to take. Couldn't afford to waste this opportunity. In that case, why don't I tag along as your assistant on a trial basis of sorts? If I'm not of any help to you, then I'll back off. Follow your orders, and I can tie-tail it immediately if things start to get dicey. You know how good I am at making a getaway already, don't you?
それは。
あかりちゃん、改めて私からもお願い。パトロールは二人でしてほしいの。例えば、ほら、偽浦さんを見つけたとき、戦いながら応援を呼べると思う？
それはわからない。
ケイスケさんがそばにいたら、応援を呼んでくれるよ。そしたら、偽浦さんを捕まえられる可能性が高くなるよね。
まあ、そうよね。
じゃあ、答えは決まりだね。
Yeah. Akari looked between us as we showered her with questions and looked ready to offer even more objections. But all that came out of her lips was a huge sigh.
もう仕方ないわね。わかったわよ。カナがそんなに言うなら、しばらくはお試しってことで一緒に来ていいわ。
Alright, thanks, Akari.
よかったですね、ケイスケさん。
Yeah, thanks to you too, Kana. Kana smiled sweetly and nodded. She really was a huge help. To be honest, I doubted there was anything I could have done about the stalemate on my own. Man, though, Kana definitely fit the role of the head of Sakagami family. Maybe we should call her a hell of a tactician.
自分から危険に飛び込んで喜ぶなんて、あなたって本当に変な人ね。
I am excited since it means I get to spend time with you.
それでは、お話がまとまったところで、私はこれで。お互いパトロール、頑張りましょう。
Yeah.
じゃあ、行く？
Right.
本当にテンション高いわね。 なんだかこっちまで気合入っちゃうわ。
As we saw off smiling Kana, the two of us openly set out on our joint patrol session. I feel like we're standing at the starting line at long last. Now, time to get psyched up. We walked around together after that, walking side by side through the streets, which we previously ran through in our game of cat and mouse, was a breath of fresh air. Still, it wasn't all fun and games. Despite everything, we were still on patrol and in search of out on patrol in search of clues to the fake Ura. It would be difficult to imagine that the imposter would act at this time of day, but still. I felt an uncomfortable prickling sensation at the nape of the neck since earlier. It wasn't as though someone was actually around my neck, but it certainly felt like it. Maybe someone was glaring at me. Like it as though something had caught my attention and stopped mid-step.
どうしたの?
Hey, can we check that out for a second? Akari stood still and seemingly suspicious. I put a hand on her shoulder and somewhat forcibly tugged her along. It's fine, just keep going and promise not to look behind you. I leaned in close to her ear and whispered.
耳元で
Someone was watching us.
まさか偽裏?
Akari reflexively tried to turn around, but I held her in place. If we were to react poorly and cause whoever was watching us to leave, then I wouldn't have a chance to determine what sort of person they were. Could be, if they suspect anything, it's all over, just play along.
わかったわ。それにしてもちょっとくっつきすぎじゃないの?
Figured you were less likely to do anything unnecessary that way.
そんなことないもん。
Yeah, that's it. Play along, just like that.
なんか釈然としない。
I held my breath and focused on tracing the uneasy feeling against my back to its source. I approximated that the gaze was coming from a seemingly hidden spot behind us. The shadow of the utility pole behind us to the right. On my signal, turn around, okay?
わかった。
3, 2, 1. Now! I saw something move from behind the utility pole and disappear down the adjacent path. Akari immediately sprung into action. She must have realized it too. We followed the shady figure, but came up empty-handed.
嘘。どこに隠れたっていうの?
They ran straight into the dead end, and there were no side roads or otherwise to make a clean getaway. We were only seconds behind them, and they would have had to scale a fence at least 6 feet high in order to escape. They shouldn't have been able to do that unless... No sign of them. They sure bolted, huh?
やっぱり偽裏?
Fighting fast agility and impressively stealthy. It's highly likely, yeah.
まだ遠くには行ってないはずよ。探してみましょう。
Got it. We did a full sweep of surrounding venues. Shaded utility poles behind fences, inside hedges. But Fegura left behind no visible trail.
手がかりを得られるかもしれなかったのに。
Akari vented her frustration onto the wall. It was rare to see her like this. Oh well, not much we can do at this point. As twisted as it is, they are skilled enough to call themselves Ura for a reason.
私、何やってたんだろう。
What's wrong?
私、偽裏の気配に全然気づけなかった。何のためのパトロールよ。偽裏がそこにいたっていうのに、私、何もできなかった。
Akari.
ねえ、どうしてケイスケは気づけたの?
Oh shit, this could get ugly, especially if she kept looking at me with that dependent look in her eyes.
ねえ、どうしたらわかるようになるの?
I could see tears welling up in the corners of her lashes, and I desperately wanted to answer her, but... What should I tell her? I couldn't exactly give her the real answer, thanks to the fruits of my Ura training. Maybe I could elaborate on my training regimen a little, if only to protect my true identity. Well, my grandpa taught me how to be more aware of my surroundings. He said it'd give him some peace of mind when wildlife was around if I headed out into the woods or something.
おじいさんから?
Yeah, he loves the outdoors. We'd go on hikes all the time. It actually came in handy, and I was able to slip by a bear once. Really saved my ass. Everything I said actually did happen. I didn't tell any lies. Yep. Akari's eyes were sparkling with admiration. Seeing her look at me that way hurt my conscience just a teensy bit.
ねえ、ケイスケ、さっきのやつ、私にもやり方を教えて。
She grabbed my hand without warning and leaned in close. There was a sudden aromatic whoosh, and I could get a real good whiff of her wonderful scent.
お願い、ケイスケ。
Ugh. Didn't have the heart to turn down a misty-eyed girl. Mina was still a man. Oh well, she'd learned she'd learned I had a rather suspicious skill and I knew perfectly well that Akari was the type who wouldn't take no for an answer. Sure, that's not asking for much. Akari always seemed like a capable girl, but it was kind of charming to see how giddy she was. She reminded me of a kid who just got a new toy. Compelled by Akari's zeal to start learning right away, we stopped by a nearby forest. Quiet forest would be far easier to practice in than the middle of town, especially since it was a public area. Okay, let's start with fundamentals. Living creatures all leave traces of some sort when active. Walking makes noise and leaves footsteps, for example. Even when idle, they will breathe and subconsciously move parts of their bodies, like their heads, which is impossible to conceal even in the most extraordinary circumstances. Every living, breathing thing has a presence of some kind. It was getting into pretty unscientific territory, but Akari eagerly listened and showed no signs of skepticism. She must have either severely lamented what happened earlier, or just had a lot of trust. Good question. In my case, my grandpa started me off by putting me in blindfold. Yeah, humans rely on their eyes to receive most information. When deprived of your sight, your other senses will attempt to compensate. Yeah, something like that. This training develops your other senses by taking away your vision. Some thicker would be better if possible. You'll end up seeing through it. Okay, this works. Took off my school-issued necktie and handed it to Akari. Akari took it and wrapped it around her eyes and fixed it against her head.
Cool.
Oh, we got a CG that I can actually use. It's fine as long as no light seeps in. Okay, I'm gonna start blatantly staring at you. Search for whatever indication you can of where I'm watching you from. Let's start on the count of 20. Begin. It would probably be best if I started off with something easy. Temporarily moved away, melded into the rustling of the trees, then quietly stood in front of her, and I stared straight at her. It was so lovely as she slowly moved and angled her head in an attempt to locate my presence. I was totally clueless at first too. It was how Grandpa felt as he watched over me. Likely had no idea where I was. Akari restlessly and anxiously surveyed the area. Yeah, I'm staring straight at you. Ah, crap accent responded. Relying solely on your hearing won't work. I won't respond next time, so feel free to try to feel my presence on your own, okay? Changed spots and gave it another try, although I remained close enough to make things easier for her. Obviously didn't respond this time and patiently watched over her. Yeah, I bet not. I couldn't pick out anything whatsoever at first. Oh, it was so hard not to say anything. This was bad. I shook my head and stared her down. This was a unique situation. I couldn't get ahead of myself and let the urge to protect her overtake me. She sounds so lonely, though. Bear with it. If you speak, then it's not training. Do your best, Akari. I'll be here watching over you like a hawk. Like, how should I put this? Over the course of events, I couldn't help but find Akari incredibly alluring. Her firm yet slender legs, her tight and beautiful waistline, and those peachy tits, they were massive and were staring right at me. In a panic, Akari covered her chest and cried out as her inner thighs twitched and twisted about. What's more, she was facing me dead on. Don't tell me she was enough. That was enough for her to notice my presence. Sorry.
でもなんで謝ってるの？
Oh, it's because, anyway, how about it? Did you sense anything this time?
なんか体中を舐め回されるような変な感じがあった。
Damn, she was sharp. Wow, perceiving so much on your first try is impressive. I knew you could do it, Akari.
ありがとう。でもってことはケイスケ、やっぱり私の体をジロジロと？
No, it's just practice, okay?
そうよね、修行よね。
Yeah, so let's do this a few more times so you can ingrain how it feels into your body completely.
まだするの？
Yeah, we're training you now.
修行よね。
Yeah, it's just for practice. Alright, let's follow up with a few more sets. Start.
ケイスケったらもう。
That was a close one, managed to play it off somehow. Aki's reaction sent a chill down my spine, so I stayed relatively serious after that, but...
ケイスケ、右にいる？ケイスケ、後ろ？ケイスケ、前。
She had a harder time locating me now than I was serious. However, whenever my concentration waned and I started having dirty thoughts, she was able to pinpoint me fairly accurately. I wonder why. Women's intuition, maybe? Well, it was also my fault for accidentally looking at her in a lewd way. By the way, I wouldn't have expected any differently from her. At the rate we were going, she might get the hang of it relatively quickly. In the course of practice, the sun began to set. Alright, let's call it good for the day. We need to get back to patrolling too. Akari removed my necktie from around her eyes with flushed cheeks. Combined with her hot sigh, it made my heart... It really got my heart racing. She was so sexy! Hey, knock it off. You can't look at a friend like that way. Practice was over. If I had you that way now...
気配を探るのって思った以上に大変かも。でもなんだか楽しかったわ。ありがとう。明日もよろしくね。
When Akari smiled at me with sweat on her brow and her arms crossed across her breasts, couldn't help but find her extraordinarily sexy. Seeing her classmate, some more sensual side could honestly be incredibly destructive. In contrast to how she normally looked was exciting. I was both looking forward to our next practice session and concerned about what lay ahead. Troubling. After school the next day, Akari rushed up to my seat the moment homeroom ended.
それじゃあ行きましょうか。
Huh.
どうしたの？一緒に行くんでしょ？
Ah, yeah, let's go.
変なケイスケ。
Got me by such surprise that I accidentally gave a stupid response. I had been the one chasing after her until yesterday, so having her approach me really threw me off my rhythm. But that was fine, true. Now that she'd given me permission to accompany her, I guess this was to be expected.
昨日の人影の件もあるし、今日は気を引き締めていきましょう。
Yeah, no.
それと、いざって時には。
Won't do anything dangerous. I'll run away immediately and follow through on my reporting
よろしい。
duties. Akari and I engaged in an idle conversation while out on patrol. Given Neste's incident, we did not try to keep a significantly more. We did try to keep a significantly more cautious lookout. We didn't see anyone especially out of the ordinary. We also asked around in hopes of obtaining information relating to the Feikura, but we came up short on that end too.
1週間かけて見つからなかったものがそう簡単に見つかるわけもないか。
Oh well, our only real play here is to keep going at it nice and steady. Besides, having us on patrol should be enough to help deter any criminal activity.
そうだけど、できればこの手で捕まえたいわ。
Sure
だっ
obsessed.
て偽裏は。やっぱり何でもない。
Akari, Akari had told me Kana had told me when Akari was so upset with the fake Ura. Decided to work hard to try and change this somewhat heavy mood. Probably shouldn't ask about her old man until Akari brought it up on her own. I need to dredge up old emotional
ねえ
wounds.
ケイスケ、今日は視線感じなかった？
Nope, haven't said anything at
う
all.
ん、警戒されたのかしらね。
Probably, even if they were still tailing us, they're definitely being more cautious than before. We did nearly spot them once after all.
そうよね。うん、今日はこの辺で切り上げましょう。ケイスケ、昨日みたいに気配の探り方を教えてくれない？
Oh, mine. But are you sure we've patrolled
いい
enough?
わけじゃないけど、偽裏の気配を探れるようになるのも必要だと思う。だから両方やらなきゃ。日が暮れるまでの残り時間は修行に使いましょう。パトロールはその後。相手も夜に動くと思うしね。
Both, huh? That was certainly an Akari-like thing to say. We like that about her. Sure, why don't we head to the same forest we went to yesterday? Should try and avoid spending too much time on one task anyway. Said that before giving Akari a casual pat on the shoulder. And she overreacted pretty harshly by practically jumping 5 feet into the air. What's wrong?
なんでもない。
So she said, but her face was bright red for some reason. Akari?
大丈夫。なんでもないわ。頑張るから。
We eventually found ourselves in a quiet and uninhabited forest, where it was the perfect spot for this type of training. I'm gonna space myself further away than yesterday, so it'll be a little more difficult.
わかったわ。
Okay, on the count of 10, begin. I took my distance from Akari, there in her blindfold, and hid among the brush. Akari surveyed all around the area and searched for my presence. No, Akari, it's pointless to look around like that when you're blindfolded. And again, I guess I had done the same thing too. It was nostalgic and it reminded me of my old self. Stirring of the old foliage echoed throughout the silent forest. It was pretty warm out today. Great weather for going out and enjoying an invigorating forest walk. Probably wasn't that much fun for Akari though. Check my watch and 2 minutes had passed. 2 minutes. But be that as it may, 2 minutes. 2 minutes was a long time with your vision taken away, standing in the dark all alone. You should have had her feeling pretty uneasy. She must have been getting impatient and started to fidget in her place. Hey now, Akari, you'd better concentrate or this won't be much of a training session.
ケイスケ、いるわよね。
Yep, right here. I accidentally spoke up yesterday, so I had to be on my guard
ケイ
today.
スケ、どこ？
I'm right over here, I'm telling you. Still, this is... how should I put it?
ケイスケ、どこ？どこ？
Akari twisted her head and appeared as distressed as an abandoned puppy. What's this? I was left with the guilty feeling that I was doing something terribly mean. How strange. Nah, we were just undergoing training and nothing more. Need to get it together.
ケイスケってば。
Ah, give me a break! I'm looking at you like I'm supposed to!
そこにいたんだ。
The way she turned to face me all while sounding relieved was so damn cute! Wait, hold on. I talked again.
ごめんね。
I'm going to be quiet this time, so do it for real, okay? You have to.
ごめんね。
Although dispirited, the way she acted as she apologized kind of got me choked up. I couldn't let emotion sway me. I had to stay strong. Alright, it's fine. Let's try it again.
よし、いつでもいいわ。
Here we go then, begin. Held my breath, concealed my footsteps, nimbly changed places, and once again watched Akari from afar. Suddenly Akari's expression grew serious. The look of perseverance, possibly helped by her refined features, made Akari look kind of alluring. Yep, do your best, Akari. I'm looking straight at you, okay? Yep, good. Go for it, Akari.
うしてかな。
Yeah, this really wasn't something you could master overnight, although she was oddly on point during the latter part of the training yesterday. Yeah, starting from when I shot that raunchy look at her. Oh no, not good. I had to make sure to keep my eyes off her tits and ass. Then again, just staring at her and doing nothing was pretty dull. Yeah, I should be alright to at least look at her face, right? Heck, staring at her was my job right now. Akari really did have some fine features. She was super cute. Her tightly kept black hair was so silky and glossy that I found myself wanting to touch it. Yep, getting to stare at a girl this brazenly was one heck of a perk. Wait, this was bad. My eyes were drifting to her chest. Bad eyes! Bad eyes! But maybe her legs would be okay? Yeah, Akari definitely had some nice legs for sure. Her legs were beautiful, slender, yet still soft looking. Just like you'd imagine out of someone so athletic. The way her leggings sunk into her was pretty lewd too. The line between her waist and butt was also quite lovely. More than anything else, though, those fine peach-sized tits of hers really stuck out when she was wearing street clothes. Oh, irresistible. I can't get it off. Akari covered her chest with her arms to obstruct my view and caused her already massive breasts to squish into new shapes. Sexy. Then, just as I gulped down my saliva...
ケイスケ、そこにいる?
Blindfolded Akari quickly turned in my direction. Yeah, you got me. As usual, her mannerisms as she blushed inside were super erotic. Still, she was amazing. I could hardly believe she had discerned my location so accurately. Was it because I was staring at her so lustfully? Rather than my presence, she was responding to my desire. That was still some impressive talent, but the Fekuro would never give her raunchy looks. There was no point if it wasn't useful in actual combat.
ねえ、ケイスケ、次もする?
Yeah, we will. Felt like this had turned into an old conversation, but better just forget about it and forget it for now. Alright, next round coming up. Put some space between us once again, by stealing away yet another glance at her, and brushed aside my worldly desires as best as I could. It was a far cry from how serious I could get, but I erased my presence and continued staring at her in earnest.
どこ?
2 or so minutes later, Akari started to look around restlessly.
ケイスケ、いるわよね?
You aren't tricking me with that again. I mean, if it did, it wouldn't help you train.
やだ、ケイスケ、返事してよ.
I'm not replying, okay?
やだよ. ケイスケ、ケイスケ.
Ah! Clutched my head in my hands without meaning to and made a slight noise.
よかった、そこにいたんだ.
Still blindfolded, Akari let out a sigh of relief and faced my direction. It was the faintest sound of my clothes rustling, but Akari caught it. Her other senses were definitely getting sharper. However, what just happened didn't count. Listen, okay? I'm looking at you like I'm supposed to. I'm not gonna abandon you and run off anywhere, so stop worrying. Whoa, the way she clutched her chest was super cute. Nope, stop it. I gotta focus on training. Let's go again. I won't make any noise this time, and I'm not going to reply. After retaking our position, yet another 2 minutes passed. Akari surveyed all around her to try and perceive my presence, but it didn't look like she was going to spot me.
ケイスケ、いるのよね?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here for God's sake! I patiently held my breath and made sure to remain silent. She was never gonna make any real progress if this kept up.
ケイスケ、見てるのよね?
Yes, I'm looking. I'm staring straight at you and only you.
そうよね。私を置いてどこにも行かないって言ったもんね。ケイスケは嘘つかないし。
Yes, exactly. So focus hard on your training and...
ってことは、私、今見られてるのよね。ケイスケに。
What? Akari said before twisting all about. Her bashful behavior made my nostrils flare. Oh, my forlorn lecher's heart!
やだ。なんか感じる。見られてる。私、ケイスケに見られてる。
Now it wasn't just her chest, but both her feet started to fidget about, so my gaze was moving erratically all over her body. Crap. This wasn't gonna make for productive training. But I was sexually mature. I mean, a healthy young man.
いや、ケイスケ。ダメ。ケイスケ、そんなに見ちゃう。
So I'm gonna be disappointed at this point if there's not gonna be a single blindfolded H scene. Because this feels like they're like basically screaming at us like, hey, get ready! He's gonna diddle her while she's blindfolded. At one point. Ah, come on, I wish you would call out my name in such a like that in such a sexy voice. Akari's voice was so virile and erotic that it would outclass the moans of any actress from a porn DVD. Its destructive force was way too stimulating for a young virgin man! This was bad. At this rate, my dick was gonna be on high alert very soon. I looked up at the sky and quietly took a deep breath. Ah, what a peaceful forest. The scent of the trees and soil was so calming. Yeah. Alright, I really was seconds away from having to bear the burden of getting a hard-on from one of my friends.
Keisuke, ちゃんと見てる?
Nuh-uh, I'm not looking, and you can't make me. Wait, did that mean she was only acting that way to get a rise out of me? You need to be able to sense the fake Uda's presence. There's no point if a degenerate like me was watching you. The realization that I had intentionally referred to myself as a degenerate made me want to die and helped cool me down a bit. Either way, I shook off my desire and stared at Akari again.
Keisuke, ちゃんと見てくれてる?
I am. I'm right here watching over you.
見てくれなきゃダメよ。修行にならないんだから。ケイスケ、見てよ。私を見て。
Who the hell could keep watching a girl who sounded like this without getting hard on? Yep, I was about to burst. May as well unleash my full desire and eyeball her good. Who could stop themselves from watching this?
やだ。なんか来た。
Yet again, she started fidgeting incessantly.
見られてる。私、ケイスケに見られてる。
Oh, Akari was super sexy when she squirmed.
ねえ、ケイスケ、そこにいる?
Akari was looking at me with flushed cheeks. Yeah, I'm here.
やった。
Like, was something wrong with me for thinking each and every one of her sides was erotic? It made some sense that the distance from my usual pure, or maybe I should say steadfast impression of her was so moe. Right, giving in to my lust wasn't gonna help her at all. From the point on, I had to endure Akari's erotic cries and suppress my lust as best as I could, so I needed to show some extreme self-restraint. After having the same exchange a number of times, Akari and I had gotten quite used to it.
そこにいる?
Yes, I'm here.
今度はそこ.
After many attempts, Akari was able to clearly discern my presence. The less she squirmed, the more I was able to seriously engage in her training. I'd occasionally falter and steal a glance at her titties, but that was beyond my control.
今度は木の上?
Huh? No, I'm not.
もしかして鳥?
The little bird landed on Akari's shoulder. After a quiet chirp, it flapped its wings and took off. Started to notice wild animals. Wow, that's amazing.
そう
Yeah, maybe it's because you've got martial arts experience. You're picking up on it quicker than I did.
ありがとう
Monkey was kind of charming with that childlike smile on her face. Yep, really motivates the teacher if they've got a great student. Alright, why don't we do something a bit more in-depth?
どんなことするの
Let's do something more similar to actual combat with your eyes open. You can take off the blindfold now.
でもいいの
Yeah, you don't ordinarily walk around with a blindfold on, right?
まあそれはそうよね
I'll sneak up on you and attack you. You can think of me like some variety of molester, and either hurl or push me away.
それは危ないわよ私も不意をつかれたら本気で投げちゃうかもしれない
Whoops. It's alright, I have martial arts experience too, so I should at least be able to break my fall.
ケイスケ何かやってたんだ
Crap, someone told me I just dug myself one hell of a grave. Yeah, my grandpa taught me a little something similar to Kobudo.
まあ確かにケイスケってよく見ると結構がっしりした体よね無駄なお肉もないし
Are you undressing me with your eyes, Akari? Oh my, you perv.
エッチじゃないもん一般論で言っただけだもん
All joking aside, she really did have one hell of a body. Well, let's set jokes aside. At the pace you're going, you should be able to detect the fake Uda's presence in no time.
なんかごまかされた
Don't say that. It's true that you've picked up on this quickly.
そう
Yeah, I wouldn't lie. You do know that, don't
じ
you?
ゃあさっきからかったのは許してあげる
Akari shyly whipped her head to the side. It was so charming and adorable. See, Akari's faces. Akari makes faces like these too. That reminded me of Oe. Okay then. That being the case, there's no need to worry about me. Counterattack like you mean it. Or rather, it won't be much good for training unless you take it seriously.
じゃあお師匠の言う通りにしましょうお願いねケイスケ
Yeah, alright, let's do this. Close your eyes and count to 20. I'll hand in the meantime. Okay, begin! In my presence, I concealed myself in the shade of the nearby trees. About 20 seconds later, Akari quickly opened her eyes.
すごいわねどこに隠れてるか全然わからないあと視界に頼っちゃいけないのよね
That's it. My pupil was really catching on. However, this was where her real test began. Blended in with the rustle of foliage and snuck up behind Akari. Now that her blindfold had been removed, I feared she would discover me quickly if I didn't conceal myself with some degree of seriousness.
落ち着いて神経を集中させて肌に感じるピリピリを感じるように
Akari scanned her surroundings and looked every which way she could. It's like the tension getting to her, but a frightened expression slowly crept across her features. I raised both hands and little by little closed the distance in order to launch my strike. Might that really be no explaining the setup if someone spotted us, would there? Hello, someone! Nah, this was consensual, so it would all work out. This was training. It was fine, even if it was a little risque. Hey, be serious with me. Akari's being serious about this.
ケイスケってばどこ行っちゃったのよ
Took a deep breath, circled behind Akari, and slowly approached step by step.
ケイスケいるのよねそうよねケイスケに見られてこれから襲われ
She was making this tough as hell! What are you blushing for, Akari?
何考えてるの私真面目に
Akari closed her eyes and shook her head to and fro. Come on, you're wide open. You're basically asking me to attack you. Alright, if it had come to this, I'd attack for real, as it was part of training too. Held my breath and stood to her rear. There, gotcha. When I hugged her from behind, she neither hit nor hurled me. Her voice trembled and her body twisted and turned ever so slightly against my chest.
ケイスケ
Oh, She was getting all misty-eyed. Too cute, damn it! Not to mention a pleasant aroma was coming off of her body. She was warm and soft. Wait, I couldn't keep hugging her like this forever. This was training! Hey, don't kiss me. Take this seriously. This won't do, okay? You need to make sure to counterattack if we're gonna call this training, right? I got ridiculously embarrassed and gently let her go. Once I did... What? Why is she so disappointed? Don't tell me she wanted me to hug her some more. No way, couldn't be. Sad to say, but there was no way, Keisuke. That's a total virgin dream. Alright, let's keep working hard. Through bitter tears, I retook my position and crept up on Akari once more, but... Don't call on my name so erotically. You're gonna put me in a weird mood. Akari noticed me at roughly the exact same time I hugged her again. Gotcha. So close, you need to notice me a few steps sooner, though, okay? Whoa, my heart was thumping out loud, even though even I thought my intonation was just now was odd. There was really no way around it, though, right? I had such a cute girl in my arms, and she smiled so sweet. Sorry, I'll let go right now. Just when I yelled that out in a fluster. Akari's fragile voice trembled as she touched my arms and held them firmly in place. For a moment, I couldn't believe my eyes and ears. There was no way this should be okay. There's no way it should be okay for this to happen. But that's... Are you sure? It's had nothing to do with training anymore. It's probably the stance. I couldn't exactly say that out loud. But this was exactly what happened often. Or better yet, this wasn't something that happened often, or better yet, ever to a version like me.
これも修行だから、ケイスケの感じ覚えておかないとまたギュってされちゃうから。
I just so happened to hug her with a bit more intensity.
そのまま。もっとギュってして。
I hugged her with even more strength, just as she asked. Akari's warmth and softness radiated against me, and my heart raced dangerously fast and refused to stop. What is happening? Akari's cheeks were a light peach color, and she was shivering like a baby animal. Holy crap, she was crazy cute. Wanted to make her mine here and now. Akari?
強い。すごい。ギュってされてる。ダメ。溶けちゃう。溶けちゃうよ。
Then in that instant, when her body shivered all over... Ah! All the strength left Akari's body. As she went limp and nearly fell from my arms, I hurried to support her. Hey, Akari, what's the matter all of a sudden?
ごめんね。なんかいきなり体中の力が抜けちゃって。
While I panicked, wondering what was happening, Akari faced me with a defenseless smile. No, I did just squeeze you more than I meant. Was that alright?
大丈夫。ケイスケのギュー、すごかった。
That reaction kind of puts me on the spot.
ごめんね。変なこと言っちゃって。
Nah, it's okay. I guess I'll consider it a perk.
私をギュってして、嬉しかった？
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure only people interested in men would ever be upset about hugging a girl as cute as you.
そっか。
Was that then that Akari flashed me a satisfied smile? Why was she making that face at a situation like this? This is gonna make me feel self-conscious. Let's see, can you stand?
無理そう。なんか体に力入らなくて。
Got it. Why don't we take a quick break? For a short while thereafter, we sat side by side on the ground, but Aki remained exhausted and showed no signs of recovering.
少し冷えてきたね。
The sun has set and all. It's probably time we left the forest. What do you think, Akari? Can you stand?
ごめん、まだ無理かも。
That's too bad. The forest can get kind of dangerous at night, especially when you can't see where you're going. Looks like I don't have a choice. I'll carry you, so hop on my back.
ダメよ、恥ずかしいし。
I'm not sure what's something. I'm not sure that's something someone who just went all limp after being hugged earlier should say.
あれは忘れてってば。もう。本当私どうしちゃってたのかな。
Yeah, I'd love to ask the same thing. As an adolescent young boy, my curiosity knew no end, but a virgin like me didn't have the guts to ask. So, you still don't think you can stand? Since the sun was setting, I reluctantly put an end to that subject and changed mental gears.
ごめん、まだ無理。
Guess a piggyback ride is our only option.
だから恥ずかしいから嫌よ。
Does girl not know how terrifying the forest could be? Akari's selfish comments made me let out a small sigh. Listen, the days may be getting longer, but summer is still a ways off. The sun will set in no time. If I trip, then I won't be able to carry you back. Worst case scenario, we'll end up sleeping out here. You may be close to town, but there's no streetlights anywhere near here. Do you want to get left behind in the dark?
やだ、それは
Huh? I was just trying to intimidate her a little, but she sounded pretty desperate just now.
嫌。置いてかれるのは嫌だ。
Then I'll carry you back, okay? Seems like she has some separation anxiety. Why is someone sending me hex titties? I mean, I'm not upset. It's hex maniac titties, but, you know, context.
もう恥ずかしいよ。
You know what? You know fucking what? I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna be a fucking asshole and save here. So next time that can be the CG for the thumbnail. Call me an asshole if you will, because quite frankly, I agree with you right now. See you next time. Bye bye.